Don't let your motives run. Keep on keeping on. Don't let me see you slide. For the people keep it tight. You gotta do it good, yeah. You know you should. The smoke can stop the smoke. Cause we're the funky folks. All your blood ain't gone. You're strong. You make me strong. All your shout ain't gone. You're strong. And you party on. Remember days when we never had a dime. Our dreams million miles away. We made it, baby. Facing the bad times with a smile. We are growing stronger day by day. 'Cause we got no time. It's all good for us to share. And girl, it sure feels good to know you're by my side. We is one forever. With your time to keep us satisfied. So my lady, whisper the word I love to hear. I love make you feel alright. But I need you, baby. Carry me on through all the years. So come on, close the door and dim the light. 'Cause we got no time. It's always there for us to share. And girl, it's good to know you're by my side. So come on, girl, and hold me tight the way you always do. Love and be at still watching in the night. All alone with me, we're waiting for the sunlight. When I feel cold, you warm me. And when I feel I can't go on, you come and hold me. It's you and me forever. Oh, just smile at me, Sarah. If you feel like leaving, you know you can go. But why don't you stay until tomorrow? If you wanna be free, you know, all you got to do is say so. And when you feel cold, I'll warm you. And when you feel you can't go on, I'll come and hold you. It's you and me forever. I want you smile. I don't know where to no one else. Now I realize I can't get over you. And though I do my very best, I just can't find happiness. And girl, it's all because I can't get over you. Hey, baby, it makes me cry. No matter how I try, I'm looking for I can't get over you. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are on this wonderful planet. Hi. Oh, trust me, Londa, I'm going to explain this. How are you all doing today? Must be great if you're up and living. Let me adjust my headphones and mic for a second. A little bit of lemonade and cognac. How are you all doing? We got Vonda, we got Sunny Box and Talk, R. Charles, AB Media, Rashid Hadi, James Keel. He said, I was about to hit my tooth. Oh, yeah. Music, we had to go back in our Wayback Machine. Yes, yes, yes. Today's topic, if you will. Oh, yes. Today's topic. The black man's political party. Ladies, do you support or oppose? If you're coming in here, please like, share, subscribe, donate if you feel inclined. Support your media interests. Yes, the black man's political party. See, I'm glad Vonda asked that question. See, lately, through various media and political sources, this has probably been one of the most emboldened black men in America have been politically in a while. You've heard the uproar that Ice Cube has started on multiple platforms, on multiple interviews. And all he's doing is looking for support. You get me? See, I know that when a black man takes a leadership role anywhere, there's going to be pushback, whether it's black women, white women, Asian men, because everybody looks at us as the subservient class, if you will. Everybody just looks at us as the worker bees and not the builders or the thinkers, okay? Not the visionaries. So now, black men are saying, look, we're coming up with a plan, our deal with for black people. And I want to see what I can get out of it. Because ultimately, when black men do well, the whole society benefits. This is a proven fact. Sorry to hear that. James Keel stated, big facts. 2 people got murdered at a club I used to attend before I got sober. This happened yesterday. Prayers to the family. Yes, much prayers to the family. 2020 has been, excuse my language, a fucked up year. For all of us in some fashion way.
let's try to ease the burden on each other, okay? When we look at this and we're seeing that black men are taking a foot forward, they're getting more politically involved. They're not being shackled by what society shames them or tries to bully them to do. In fact, some people are starting movements to flip different political seats just to show political power and proudness. I wish somebody could get me a link to what's the lady who the older black lady in Congress now over there in Cali who represents Compton. Oh yeah, this world is filled. Yeah, this world is filled with backstabbers, man. It wouldn't be a world if it wasn't. You got to look at it. Even when it comes down to our own women, not all, of course, but too damn many, who are shaming men, black grown ass black men who go out there, work, take care of families, dangerous jobs. Tacos I just made are excellent, by the way. Who took their, oh yeah, Maxine Waters, Auntie Maxine. More like great grandma Maxine to me. Berated a man who's worth $160 million, meaning cube, and stating that he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm sorry. Anybody who makes that type of money, they know something that the majority of people don't, okay? They know something, man. And unfortunately for brothers, we're going to hear this a lot in the next 2 to 4 years. Think about that. I disagree. I digress. You could hit me up with the recipe speech words. Next time, player, next time. See, Maxine Waters represents the stagnation of the black community. No way. If I was the goddamn Hokage of the hidden village of the leaf, okay, I would not be like fucking 80 years old trying to hold on to a goddamn seat. For what? You have no faith in the youth of leading us? That shows it. You don't even trust another black woman to be in power, but yet you still have the audacity to part your mummified lips and say that black men don't know what the hell they do. That's shameful. But yet, I look at where you represent, which is what, Compton and Watts and all that area. Has it gotten better or worse since you've been there? How do you judge a tree? How do you judge a tree? You judge it by the fruit it bears. You get all this pushback politically because brothers might want to vote Republican because that's what they feel in their heart. Brothers are switching to independent. Brothers are having a more conservative view. Brothers may be liberal, but they're actually reading and researching politicians and parties. Sonny, go to my channel and see the facts. Boy, I will not disrespect. disrespect Charles Flair. Hey, go ahead. Cortez Smith. Woo, what's up, man? People from Compton have been complaining. Of course. What change can you get when you've been in a political office for 40, 50 years? See, you got to understand something. If I got to stay in an office or take care of my kids till I'm fucking 80, not because I want to, because I have to, then I failed you. I failed you. Let's get them likes up. Let's get them donations up. Everybody, carry the conversation in the chat. Please, I'd like to hear from everybody coming in. See, this is what happens when you're scared to let black men take the reins. Have you ever noticed that you see an abundance of black men who are coaches compared to our female counterparts? And there are almost just as many sports between the male and female within middle, high school, parochial, college. Think about it. You probably got more male coaches in the WNBA than female. Because we're not afraid to train our youth to become better than us. See, this is what stagnation and complaining about your men get you. When your men says, you know what, we're going to take a stand, not just for us, not just for the boys, but for the girls and the women. Y'all need to try this Blue Swift and lemonade mix. You'll thank me later. You get spit upon. Yeah, even softball. You get spit upon. I listened to that interview. Hell, we played the interview on my channel. And they asked him, what do you have in your plan, kid, for black women? He said, aren't y'all part of the black family? Oh, Lord. Damn, that shit good. Are you not part of the black family? He even said, and this is how my buddy Josh, who's on here frequently, would say, people listen to reply and not to comprehend. He said, well, since y'all the experts in black women, why don't y'all help me write this manual and put in what needs to be put in. Here comes all the complaints. Here comes all the detractors. But once he said, why don't you put some work in it? Why don't you put some blood on the table? Oh, you don't know. But see how selfish they are? See, this is the reason why I say efficient men should be with quality women. See, a quality woman is not selfish. See, he said, James, well, you just don't know. I'll hold my peace over the internet, but, you know, I'll say less. No disrespect, Brother Charles. I'll hold my peace. See, this is the problem. You got two things going on. See, it's okay for our women to become political. There's no problem. But when a black man tells America, what can you do for me if you want my vote? It becomes an issue. And this isn't about disrespecting anybody. I just think it's weird how if a man in the black community is a free thinker and he uses his logic to say, you know what, this does not sing to my soul, he gets ostracized, he gets ridiculed. But since, I hear a lot of women out there that say they want them black men to be leaders, do you support the black male agenda? Because I'll tell you this, black men have supported the black female agenda for years, for decades, for centuries. Even fought wars to free you. Put fucking cinder blocks and rocks through a damn storefront window, get arrested, and you see more in there. And this ain't even no gender war shit. This is just normal observation. So when the black man says, hey, woman of the past said I was really disappointed at the lack of the support to Cube's front in the TV. See, I'm going to say this, and it's not trying to be black man against black woman. It's that, are you willing to support your men to get their piece of the American pie? And I know good women who do. But overall, I'm seeing contrary to the belief. Yes, we do have exceptions to that. We have wonderful women who support their brothers, their fathers, their husbands, their male cousins, their friends, their male friends. It's the fact of the matter. Do you want to see your brother who has to deal with issues with law enforcement, issues within child custody and child support, issues in employment, education? You cannot complain about black male leadership if you're not willing to teach the young black boy when they're still formative, in their formative years. There's something about that. It's sad, really. Do we support it? Because I was taken back when I forget the lady who said to Cube, what about the black woman agenda? I was like, wait a minute. Let's listen to this. You want something about black women, but statistically and realistically, the black woman's doing A-okay. You're getting all the education, getting all the funding, all the money. All we get is left alone. You're not the least educated, the most incarcerated, the most fucked with. And once brothers do their time being incarcerated, they're not even, after paying their debt to society, are they even allowed to get sufficient, training and employment so they don't go back to that life of crime? Better yet, why not give them proper education and training to even get there in the first place? What's up, Chaos?
What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm here. Finally. Finally. Uh
I don't know if you've
you
been
know, you
listening,
know,
huh?
you know, I feel like let me see who's in the chat room. I don't know if y'all guys got y'all. Well, no, I ain't gonna do it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do that tonight. Y'all guys got y'all Cash App ready.
But I'm just
I feel like finding that tape from Miss Maxine Waters and playing it right here and just rip it a new one. You know what I'm saying? I feel
I
like
would
doing
love
that.
to hear it. I would love
I
to
feel,
hear it.
I feel like I should find that. Let me see if I can find that bad boy. Because I heard about it yesterday on YouTube by Mr. Sterling. And the audacity of this bitch. You have not done shit for the fucking community in 40 fucking years. Are you telling the men in this community that they should stay voting Democrat? Hell, do better. Vote for a motherfucker that easily put your men more into the jail cells with his no good concubine bitch, Harris, that didn't give a fuck about not only black men, but you black women. Do we really want to go there? I want everybody to hear me. Hello, Vonda. I'm glad you're here. Up here. Did you know this woman, out of many people in office that's in politics, put their name to in regards to the Pedo Act back in 2018, going on 2019? Mr. Rain sure gave me the files. Well, not files, but some information.
You gotta turn the YouTube down in the background a little bit.
Oh, it's loud? Yeah, man,
Yeah.
loud. Let me see if I can do that.
But you gotta realize this, right?
Yeah. Sound better now?
Yeah. I was reading Vonda's comment. The women that
Okay.
objected to Cube are celebrity women who do not represent the average American black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say some stuff that a lot of people aren't gonna agree with. I love you, Vonda, but they do. Because the average black woman in America, and notice I want everybody who's listening to my channel understand vocabulary. I know you're smart and you're an intelligent woman, but sometimes new. Thank you for the cash app. What's good? Thank you. New. Woo! But the average black woman, this is the reason why we look at women like yourself as unicorns, as something immaculate. Okay? Because there's plenty of black women who only see black men as a utility. An ATM with a dick, a guard dog. Till I need you to fight my battles, get your ass back in the corner, don't say shit. They have the same low talking points. Okay? And these are chicks with money who've been in the industry. This is the same shit I've heard with women who ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. Does that make that all women, Vonda? Of course not. Of course not. Too damn many. Anytime, think about this, Vonda. Let the average black man say in any major black city, Baltimore, Detroit, Miami, go to New York, go to Philly, go to any major city, Chicago. Guess what they're going to say? You voting Republican. Oh, you're a Trump supporter. You're not allowed to have a difference of opinion. You're not allowed to speak factual information. What you need to do is to get along, and shut the hell up about it. I had a good conversation with my man Zabal. Ball for short. So he was listening to one of my programs, and he said, "You know what? At the end of the conversation, we were going back and forth. I love it when two great minds actually share information and sometimes have a friendly little debate." And he was saying one of our homeboys said oh, he's being sexist and he's hating black women, and he said he doesn't. Even he said at the end of the discussion, he says, "You just telling men to be men and women to be women and to do well in our roles. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And see, the reason why I like women like you, women of the past, Char Willie and others, and Nicole Ali, Miss Gigi, and others, is because we get to talk to women openly, whether we agree with them or not. You women like yourself and a few others, I like to have open dialogue because once you, just like myself and Ball did, when you have an open dialogue and a discussion, you get over all the BS and you actually start to comprehend what the other says. When people start making their preconceived notions, that's when shit gets awful. When you have literally people telling you to get in the back of the line and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, that's shameful. What's up, Craig Harper? Woo! Moment of the past. Woo! See, I would love the day when we can rebuild the black society. I've always said this. The queen is the most powerful chess piece there because the man afforded her such safety, which is the king. Yes, she is very powerful, but if that king dies, the game's over. There is no power. And once you go outside of that construct, that's when you see stagnation. Nothing grows in stagnation except destruction, except mold, stuff that actually kills, decays. Well, you have a negative outlook on women. No, I don't. Not at all. I have an honest one. I have an honest one. I'm just not afraid to talk about it like some men. Were you able to find a chaos? I'm still looking.
Yeah, no, I'm doing something right now. Give me a second.
All right. An honest. I have an honest one. I'm just not afraid to talk about it like some men. You got the YouTube playing.
You hear YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I think I'm.
Were you able to find a chaos?
Yeah. No, let me just do this. One second.
No, I'm doing something right now. Give me a second. All right.
You can mute me.
All right. But I look at this and I'm like, what's wrong with the men of the community saying, hey, we don't like what the cards we're being dealt. We're not going to be enslaved to just the Democratic Party. We're going to go to both sides and see what they offer. If neither side offers anything that's compelling to our interests, we don't vote for either. But once again, Vonda, did I not say that not all? Just too damn many? Remember when I said that we look at you as a unicorn? Think about it.
Charles,
yes, sir.
Because I think I might have fixed the audio. Because you can hear the YouTube playing in background. Somebody said I might have found a fish at cricket. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna play a quick music on YouTube, and I'm gonna see if it plays in the background properly.
Okay, roll that beautiful pink footage.
Keep talking until I find one little track to play on here. All right. Let's see. All right, let's see if you can hear this.
Oh, that is a nice intro, though. Oh shit! Clap your hands.
All right, that's all I need to know. I fixed it on my computer. Let me stop this.
God damn! I was listening to that. It's like, let me stop.
Oh, you want to keep playing? I'll keep playing.
We'll use that for the outro. Say that for the outro.
All right.
Hey, that shit was kind of smooth there, wasn't it? Give me a woo in the chat if that song wasn't smooth.
Yeah.
No, women of the past at Charles Fault. It's really a pleasure to listen to you. You make so much sense, and thank
So
you
now I'm
for
gonna
your
go find
courage
this
to put it
next
together.
while this nonsense.
I mean, somehow it has to do. I mean, and it's sad because I want to live to see black men and black women flourish together. I don't like this division. And when you openly defy your men because you want to keep the little trinkets, the little crumbs, the main society or the ruling class gives you over over the come up of your man, that's shameful. And just to answer some critics, guess what? I would say the same goddamn thing to black men if they said fuck their women and their women been nothing but fucking loyal to them. So let's get that shit out the way. And I'm just looking at it. I don't have to always agree to a black man or a black woman, but I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to have dialogue. Plenty of you who are the regulars in this bar we call Faulknerdom have seen me have multiple women on the panel, whether if I agree with them or not. Even told the men to mute up so the women could speak with them. And you're right, Vonda. You're right. You are absolutely goddamn it, Vonda. Mwah, I love you. You said it. You summed it up right there. Show over. I'm see you guys going home. You summed it up right there. Those women clearly have an agenda. Clearly.
Yep, that's right.
Clearly. You summed it up. I'm about to cut this shit short. No more talking about it. You know, mic drop. You hit the nail right on that goddamn head. It's an agenda. Stop listening to these other people about your man.
Mm-hmm.
My man James Keel said, how can you fight bank statements that I put on my channel? You know what, James? It's always been said, he who pays rules.
Mm-hmm.
He who pays rules. He who pays rules, okay? A lot of people know. You follow the money, you follow the agenda. Look at BLM.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Black Lives Matter. Once people start following that damn money and found out it was not a grassroots organization, what happened? They had to change their flow. When you follow the money and see who pays them, you see the agenda. And then I'm getting real sad that you notice none of these high-ranking politicians will ever put an ADOS candidate in front of your face. they'll give you a bunch of people who are not even from, who never even been through the struggle. They don't even care if they get a real black person from America. You get some chick who laughed at your asses when you asked if she got elected, what would she do for black people? And she laughed. We're so goddamn hypnotized and just color and not even going into researching what this person's about. That we will allow people to send us to hell. We will allow somebody to be the conductor of hell. Look at this. I still got my painting of Obama. Yes, I like the fact that it was a black face in the presidency. But when you ask the truth, did that motherfucker do shit for black people? No. He was adamantly against fucking reparations.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But guess what? He'd tell you during his first election, he was against same-sex marriage. But his second election, he championed the motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
No, you're good. You're good to go, woman of the past. You're doing well.
I might find one clip is for 15 minutes long. It looks like she was sitting up with, I guess, a bunch of women. I'm not sure if this is the one that they were talking about, how she was talking about black male voters, but I've really concluded this must be the one because today's Monday, right? So if you might have talked about it, that means this was done 2 days ago or 3 days. I would say 2 days at most, Charles, over the weekend, because a lot of content creators were talking about this. So I would assume this might be the one because this was dated October 31st. So I feel like running this one and let's hear for ourselves to see if I'm right. We're gonna cross our fingers. So
let's roll that beautiful being footage.
Wait, before we go, do the crowd want to hear her say? 3 days. I would say 2 days at most. I'm waiting. I guess they do. So this is what I will do. I will share my screen. Let me see. Might as well. And we can break it down if we want. But
oh yeah. Single mothers are the strongest? What the hell are they? Kryptonian?
Mm-hmm.
Are they Super Saiyans or some shit?
Mm-hmm.
The strongest? I would be strong too if I had an entire country incentivizing my bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a single mother do everything by herself. Okay? Lie to somebody who actually believed that bullshit. I did everything by myself, please.
All right. Because as you know, there's an article on this. I'll read the article last, just in case if the 15-minute video doesn't really confirm this. I have full confidence it does. It's right there now. You can probably share it when you're ready, Charles. But I have full confidence this is the one. Because I'm looking at the article itself, and it's saying something maybe similar, different. And there's no video on this, but I think this clip she was in sitting down about Crips and Bloods might be the one. So
let's play it and see.
All right, let's play and see. Okay. You can share the screen.
I'm still waiting for these Super Saiyans because last time I checked, I've dealt with a lot of these women. A lot of these women would tell you, I've been around these women. The first thing they would do is ask a man, what can you do for me? I'm a package deal. If you're truly independent, you wouldn't care what that man brought to the table. But I digress. Play it.
Having too much fun. That's a woman. What is a wonderful virtual meeting that you had? Do you love you, Chair? All of these fabulous guests that you're having. This is the kind of leadership that you're providing in this time of COVID-19 and how we use the virtual possibilities. In the same way that you hit the Congress when you did. You hit the Congress and you came in and you've created a new atmosphere. Now, Elian, I want to tell you, I was reading that you said, I guess a day or two ago, where you talked about why people were going to come out and vote. I think you said. You said something about, I don't know if you said fear and hatred. And I thought to myself, now, that is the kind of description that you won't hear from the average politician. What the average politician will be saying, oh, I think the people have been empowered, and I think that now they will move in the right direction. But you said, no, they're coming out because of, I believe you said fear and hatred. And
the rejection of fear and hatred.
Okay.
Because I believe, right, that every single person he has othered and spewed hate against, every community they represent are going to come out in rejection of that. Because we're tired about in allowing him to, make us feel any kind of way, and we're done with it, like you've been saying.
When my wife felt that I could no longer provide luxury for her, she left me, and it broke my heart.
Wait, what's that? Is that a commercial?
It all began.
That's a commercial, but goddamn, is that commercial very timely?
Well, the thing about it is, it has been absolutely.
Hold on, pause it.
Pause.
Give
me a second.
See and understand.
See, for a guy who's supposed to be a sexist, how many women? You got goddamn women who's a Supreme Court justice.
Mm-hmm.
He could have gave that to a white man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a real big Trump supporter.
Neither am I.
But let's look at facts. How you going to talk about you're discriminated against, but you're an elected goddamn official? I'm not the smartest knife in the drawer, but in order to be an elected official, people actually gotta like your ass. So you telling me, how the hell is it that who's that Hispanic woman? Cortez? She full of shit too.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? How many of her people discriminate against black people every day?
Mm-hmm.
But you got the keeper of the gate, Maxine Waters, smiling up in these chicks' faces. And will shit on you for what? This is the type of leadership. This is the type of leadership you deny your black boys. This is the type of leadership you deny black men when it comes to employment. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but we're going to be peaceful about it. Continue, man. Continue.
Early on, what a despicable human being that he is. I've never met anybody like him. They get real.
Oh, no, I know.
No. They get real, yeah.
Auntie Maxine, before we got there, you were speaking the truth about him early on. I mean, I think you were the first people to say, oh, wait, this smells, oh, he's racist. Like, people didn't even want to say it. It was very clear that he was.
That's right.
I love that you did that. I mean, from being on the outside in when he first got elected, I feel like you spoke for me. And I so appreciate that so much. Like, you really did. And I just kept saying, oh my God, Auntie Maxine's going to keep speaking the truth. She's going to keep telling him off. She's going to shut him up. So I appreciate, before we got there, I mean, you were doing it. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. They get angry when I say that I have worked with, Crips and Bloods and gang members and all of that, bringing them along, having to connect them, to, all kind of possibilities. And I've never encountered any of them who were, as bad as the President of the United States of America, that I believe that they had more integrity than he has. And one of the things that I really learned is when you love people, they must love you back. And that's what happened with all of these young gang members. And I used to have them. I used to have classes for them. And they would come into my class and they would be saying, yes, ma'am. And I would hug them. And someone would come to say, Ms. Waters, You know, he shot somebody last night. And so I guess what that did for me was it was to say, I don't care what happened last night. The next day is a new day with new possibilities. And so
What?
You know, when I compare
Pause.
Now, bro, before you go, and isn't this the same dirty bitch that led hometown of California in the shithole it is now?
Yeah. See, I'm not gonna call her a bitch. I'm gonna treat her with the respect of an elder, even though she shits on black men. I'm not gonna cuss at her, but I will cuss around her. This lady has ideological differences versus Trump, but a motherfucker who shot somebody, she's willing to hug.
Wow.
See, and you wonder why. You wonder why your cities are in turmoil. You wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
You basically in some form of fashion appear to gang members killing other motherfuckers. And I tell you, bro, I tell you, she should be impeached out of office for that comment.
Hey, but don't you love politics, man? You get in office, you're in for the rest of your career. In America,
Politics,
you have a career politician. You could be there until you actually drop dead. That's
politics or politricks. That's what I call it. Politics or politricks. How the hell you gonna go in front of these heifers? And tell them, well, I would hug them. I don't care what they did yesterday. You're still talking about what Trump said 10 years ago. The illogical shit of these motherfuckers.
The insanity, man.
Dude, you really see, this is how legal precedents take center. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Continue, please.
All right. Yes, I will. Let me see. Oh, let me make sure I'm the right one. Okay, I gotta find it. Okay.
You know, these young people with someone like the president, I can't tell you what I feel about the president because the words that I would use would just not be acceptable anywhere because I feel, you know, so strongly about him. And of course, I'm looking for this great win that we're going to have. You have to usher it in. You have, as Maya Angelou would say, courage is perhaps the best of all virtues. And you had courage. You have courage.
Maya Angelou, who's the super swirler.
You took on, you know, the whole idea.
Madam Chair, but please,
yes.
let us pay tribute to you and hold space for you because you're OG squad. Okay,
that's right.
If you had not been shaking tables and truth telling and being disruptive, you know, before we were in his sightline, the occupant, you were, and you were subjected to that hateful rhetoric. You know, and when you reclaim your time, we know that you're reclaiming all ours.
Wow.
We are all ours.
That's right.
For anyone who's ignored, left out, left behind, marginalized, oppressed, victimized by policy violence, you are all our Congresswoman. We all pray.
But didn't she support the 94 crime bill? Anybody ask her what she think about the 94 crime bill? I'm gonna sip on this. I'm gonna sip. I don't know about you. I'm gonna sip on this lemonade cognac. Keep going.
Okay.
These three get to spend so much time with you, as they are fortunate. I know people think I'm on the committee, which I'm not. But you and I also spend a lot of time together. And I remember you know, there were times where things were very challenging for me. And everybody had an opinion about what I should do and what I should say. And I remember you standing next to me and saying, you don't have to do anything but be Black and die Black. and I think that, like,
the funny thing about illness today is that the people walking.
And by the way, Chaos, I said something to your Facebook.
Okay, I'll check it later.
The idea that we show up as our full selves and we don't allow people to dim our light and make us feel small is really attributed to you. Oh, right? I think we walk taller and bigger than we are because you have them. And I think oftentimes we forget, right, like that there are people who took on more bullets and more pain than we are taking on, and who had to endure a lot without having the solidarity that comes with, you know, our public pains, right? The challenges we go through, we're going through it in the public eye. And there's so much solidarity that's built around us and so many people who hold us up. And I know that for many of you who have paved the way for us to be as bold and brave and as unapologetically as we are today, endured all of that privately. And so we're just grateful to you and everyone who's made us feel that even though, you know, we might be very small, we can be very mighty.
And Hato Maxine, I know, but I gotta tell you, you remember my bumpy beginning. And you asked to come see, you said, I want to see her. I was like, oh my God. This was like our first meeting, but you came in there, remember? I cried and you said, don't you apologize, Rashida. And you said, I've been there, let me tell you, just don't apologize for being you, for being angry, for being, you know, and I just want you to know how much that meant to me.
What about apologizing for being wrong?
I don't think you realize how much of a dent you made in me as I, you know, continue on just speaking truth and continue on just being myself. And I don't have to be that polished politician. I don't have to be that. I can be the social worker, the mama bear, the girl from Detroit. I can be all of that and not have to change. So I thank you so much for that. And that moment you'll never forget.
Wow, you guys have just been so wonderful to me. I just don't know how to take it.
We love you.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for the way. We love you.
And it's, you know, it's so important too, because it's also important, you know, for all of us, but yes, us, but to also model that every single one of us comes from a heritage of and a lineage of the fight for justice. And it is not just the right thing to do, but it also makes us better when we understand the road it took to get us to this present moment, so that those in the future understand the path and the trajectories that we've been on to help us map our trajectories for the future. And we would not be here if it wasn't for you. We would not be here if it weren't for the legacy of Shirley Chisholm and, you know, all of us, everybody, elected and unelected, who came here and helped create the space for us to be here. And it's not just about the past too, it's about the present, Chairwoman, because I remember just a few months ago, that super viral clip that everyone was just amplifying of, you know, when there was a young man getting pulled over and you pulled your car right over in front of him. And you came out and this officer's trying to tell you that this is none of your business because he didn't know at first who he was talking to. And what was so powerful about that leadership was that you were doing something that anybody could do. You were doing something that any person in this country, if they saw that going on, they could also pull over their car. except you, because you did it.
Pause. So she supports, her and Maxine Waters support an officer pulling somebody over and interfering in police business.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say they were illegally stopping a person. She didn't say the officer was mistreating a person. So it's cool to pull over somebody during police investigation because you're pandering at that moment.
Yeah.
How many black men do you see up there, folks? How many? This is what fucking America thinks of you. Okay? Say what you want. Say what you will. This is what America thinks of your black asses. They'll go and have these meetings, but yet I'll challenge Miss Waters to this, right? I'll challenge this thought to this. Because guess what? I got a little news shocker for you all, right? Miss Waters actually defend Biden and the goddamn crime bill.
Uh-oh. How many people knew that?
But don't worry. Y'all still vote for her ass.
All people I see that's gonna vote for her. This new young dude that's coming up, and I feel like I should play him because he's running for Senate, take over Maxine Waters' seat.
But you know how many of you Negroes play plantation politics? Can't vote against Big Mama. Biden wins, Kamala's in there within a year or 18 months.
Yep.
You're going to see black females pump their chests out like no other to a bitch who never said she was black.
See that? Well, they said what her father's black. Did she say she's black, you fuck tards? No.
See, this is the shameful part about black people. We are so low on the totem pole that we'll accept anybody. Hey, Ronda Rousey is what, an eighth black? Queen Victoria's an eighth black. See, this is the reason why black men need to start their own political party. Black women said, fuck you. We will drink of the sweet nectar of the Democratic Party.
The smooth nectar. Like, I say, how the Europeans come is such refreshing. They goggle it.
No, you don't get high blood pressure over people who don't deserve it. Don't worry. After this is over, we're going to play one more clip, and then we're going to open up the lines and put the link in the chat, because I really want to hear from everybody on this one.
Yeah. So let's continue.
It was just shocking that people could also see someone in such a position of tremendous power, caring, and doing something on such a personal level. And so I just want to thank you for that too, because it's not just about the work that you've done leading us here, but also, the work that you continue to do to lead us.
Well, let me tell each of you that you have had your impact, and I want to thank you for, your kind attributes, to me today. But let me tell you, each of you have had your impact already on the Congress of the United States. And I am very hopeful as we go into the next session after this election that you have created an atmosphere for change. And I'm going to be right there with you. I'm going to be right there with you. We're going to talk about new ways to do things. We're going to talk about new subjects. And we've got to rethink how we address some of these systems that, are in place and have been in place for so long. I'm convinced that we can do a better job about homelessness. I'm convinced that the money that we're sending to the cities and to the states and the way that it is organized has not done the job. We're sitting here, we're sending money, and we're giving it to our locals.
Wait a minute. Who has
you
the
heard
highest?
That bullshit?
Who has the
walk through California in the streets, and she has not done nothing for decades?
Who's the most homeless and unemployed in these cities?
Black men. The same Christian Bloods that go around shooting people and says she sits there and tell them it's all forgiven because she wants you to kill yourself.
Okay, you say Trump is an elitist? He's an elitist. Trump's a racist? He's a racist.
Okay.
But I find it funny, the guy who's the racist actually spoke up for fucking black men during a presidential debate. Something that even your black president didn't even do. But continue. I gotta sip. You know, this cognac is so good right now with this lemonade. And I'm not even a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
I'm not even a Trump supporter. But give me 2 minutes, man. God damn it, man. Black women, if you truly love black men, you will support your black man and his endeavors. When he says we need to bring leadership back to its core principle, you support your black man. You play a good XO, a good second in command. See, I'm going to say the same thing I told my homegirl, Danielle to y'all, Danny to me. I said a woman's job is to protect the image and the glory of her man. That's some deep shit, isn't it?
That's some good shit like that.
I'm going to say it again for the Negroes in the back. A woman's job is to protect the image and the glory of a man. Does this seem like it's protecting the image of a black man? When all you see is an Hispanic woman trying to uproot the older black woman to shit on black people in a hole. You wonder why the white man looks like the conqueror of the world. Because he has white teachers in your fucking, in your Prussian school system, indoctrinating your kids, not telling them the real truth. He has white women in media telling you all this greatness of medieval Europe, even though it took black people from Northern Africa to show them how to wash their ass. It took white women who are the managers for the CEOs not to hire you, but hire your woman. But the least you could do is protect the image and the glory of your men. Be on code. Continue.
Okay.
Getting supposedly supportive services and, affordable housing and all of that. But people look at us and they think, why aren't you doing more? And I'm looking at us and saying, yeah, I think we can do better than this. And so, guys, we've got to end homelessness forever. It began to understand that those people need us, that they don't have anything else. Many of them will never, ever work a day in their lives. And all this business that, some come at us with saying that, yes, we've got to, clean them up and make them more independent so they can get a job. Some people will never be able to have a job. They are disabled for a lot of reasons. Some of it has to do with the drug epidemic. Some of it has to do with just physical damage. Some of it has to do with congenital damage that was never taken care of and the health was never taken care of. So we have to take a look, and we're going to have an opportunity to do that. Okay, I want to tell you, we got, 1, 2, 3 on that committee, and Eliane thinks she's on the committee. And so,
I wonder how many black men are in this goddamn committee.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I want to tell you, I'll tell you what Ayana was going to do. She's going to come all prepared, and she's going to make a presentation that nobody can disagree with.
I love
Rashida is gonna come and she's gonna put on her best mean face. She's gonna say in so many words that ain't none of y'all doing shit. And so, and okay, I want to tell you that Alexander, you're gonna come in there and you're gonna watch everybody, and you're at the right time.
You're gonna be the overseer.
Everybody by the time they get to you, and then you're gonna make us all look like fools. You're gonna say, and you guys don't say it because you're very dignified. You don't say it, but in your own way, say it.
Does this look like the allies, the black men?
Nope.
The men who suffer the most in this country? I want you to play that goddamn thing I sent. I sent you,
Yes, I don't know what you're doing. You gotta listen. Nobody's paying attention, and that's why we're in the shape that we're in now. Because too many people have paid attention to you for too long, and we're with that. And we got a new way of doing things. And so,
I'm gonna say the same shit that I said Obsidian's path on Obsidian's channel.
I'm gonna nod my head, and then I'm gonna bang the gavel. But in the final analysis, we're gonna get something done. Okay? Thank you, Carol.
All right. Let me play the next video, but one thing before I play the next one, hold on. Let me give 1 second, people. Let me say, woosah, woosah, woosah.
You know what? Get that bullshit out of here.
Mm-hmm. Again.
Anyway, God damn it! I need Kakashi. Where the fuck is Kakashi when you need him? God damn it! I mean, seriously, does that sound like some? I swear to God, I need some divine power. Call the ancestors for this shit. I mean, God damn. By the way, if you didn't actually know it about, when He-Man called down the powers of Grayskull, he was actually speaking to his ancestors, which is African spirituality. So yeah, I get to play that. I need the strength for the ancestors. I have the power. Man,
I like to say to Shay, I think Woman Fitness from the past. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So go ahead.
I'm sorry, man. They're filled with laughter when you still got black men filling jail cells. They're filled with laughter when you got black men filling homeless shelters, unemployment offices. Here it is. That Hispanic woman's laughing and laughing. But guess where she's going to see them resources go? To her people.
Yeah. Laughing all the way to the bank. Saying, yes, Miss Waters, I agree. Everything totally what you say. While my people flourish, while we lock you niggas up. Matter of fact, we'll do some better. We're going to take your man, we're going to suck your man's dick and leave you women destitute.
You're still going to be lonely.
They like to say it nice to say, Mommy, yes, Mommy, do your thing. While I turn around and say, come, Poppy, let me give you some drink. Yes, Mommy, you're all good. And then when they look at it, say, can I get your man? And they say, oh, no, Mommy, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea, Mommy.
Like really, she been plotting like shit to get your man.
Just wait to suck his fucking dick, and then when you want to turn and get when her brothers and sisters, her brothers, she said, "Oh, Mommy, that's not a good idea. No, that's not a good look. I don't think you're not right now. You don't need that, Mommy. No."
like here's my shit, right? One, you didn't have one black man up there. That Hispanic chick is gonna be more to white women than black. Ask me how I know.
Trust me, I know, bro.
You and see, Vonda, this is the reason why that I said not all, but too damn many. This is an older woman, an elder, siding with women who plot to take black men away from black women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And here's the crazy part. Y'all not even giving them competition. Not you, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But this old chick is trying to say we worried about the racism, but how many black people without jobs in Compton and Watts is because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Real recognize real.
Mm-hmm.
And real recognize real fake.
Mm-hmm. Let's play this. Go ahead.
Let's play this shit because I want to get some people on the platform, man, woman, and child. Not child, because this is an adult show. Put your goddamn kids to bed.
All right, guys. So the most corrupt politician in the country. No, literally. The most corrupt politician.
You sharing the screen? Or
I'm sharing the screen.
Okay.
Fair use is educational fair use.
And went on the attack against young black men who want to vote for Trump. And this politician is no other than Maxine Waters. Like I told you guys in the Lil Wayne video, this was bound to happen. If/when President Trump wins re-election on Tuesday, the people that are going to get the brunt of the blame, one, is men, and then particularly black men from liberal black women, because they have direct interest in pushing back against black men becoming more conservative and voting Republican. But before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman.
Hold up, pause it.
All right.
Can we actually email this guy, because I would love to get him on the panel one day, because I'm gonna be doing nothing for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm off for the next 2 weeks, and I would love to get a couple of people to interview and get their State of the Union. I'm gonna do it. You know what? This week or next week, I'm gonna do a goddamn State of the Black Manosphere Union address.
Oh shit.
If you want me to do a black State of the Black YouTube Union address, give me a woo in the goddamn chat. Now continue, please.
Okay.
Subscribe, most importantly, share a black conservative perspective, aka a liberal's worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it. All right, guys. Take a listen at some audio from Maxine Waters on Joe Manchin's show, talking about how she cannot forgive black men for voting for President Trump.
They think somehow if they are going to support Trump, that they're going to realize some big sums of money that's going to come to them through some damn proposals that they're going to present, and they're going to be taken care of, and they're going to be able to manage all of this money. They are crazy. They're not going to get a dime from these people. They don't even know how to put together the right kind of proposals to even be considered in this way that government works, and how you have to get through the House and the Senate and all of these committees, even in order to get to the president to sign something, and he's not going to sign a darn thing for them. He's a racist. He does not have any appreciation for black people and black women in particular. He's talked about it so bad. He talked about John Lewis so bad. He talked about Cummings so bad. He has no respect for us. He's not doing anything for us. And for those black young men who think somehow they can align themselves with Trump, not only are they terribly mistaken, any of them showing their face, I will never ever forgive them for undermining the possibility to help their own people and their own community. It is absolutely unconscionable.
Pause.
Right. So, there you go, guys.
Where's my phone?
Straight out of Maxine's Waters' mouth.
I gotta take a sip.
Mm-hmm.
And a deep breath. Nigga! It's amazing how you would not forget a cold-blooded murderer, but you will forgive a cold-blooded murderer, but you would not forgive somebody expressing their political views.
Mm-hmm.
See, Wanda said, all this decisiveness to keep us at each other's throats. I won't do it, point blank, period. Democrat, Republican, two wings of the same bird. I'll add the two wings of the same dirty ass bird. See, I agree with you, Wanda. But I'm going to add a little bit something, a little bit of spice to it. Take away the political parties. Take away the R and the D. And this is what they think of a black man making his mind up about something. I'll never forgive you if you bought that house without my permission. I'll never forgive you if you go away to college and leave me here. I'll never forgive. There are black mothers who say this to their sons. I'll never forgive you if you marry that bitch. You can literally have a woman, as a black man, you can have a woman that treats you like a king, motivate you, support you, do everything she's supposed to do. Your mother and grandmother, your sister, your female cousins, and your best female friends will hate on you like a motherfucker. You just heard one conversation. Will she hug a guy who killed somebody, but won't forgive a guy for expressing his God-given right to vote, his constitutional right to vote, to make up a decision of what he feels mandated in his heart by God Almighty given to him. And then I'm glad Sonny said something about her face. The same snarky look I can get from a 10-year-old girl, a 20-year-old woman, a 35, 40-year-old woman, I'm getting from an 82-year-old woman in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, I know brothers who did a life of crime, but they paid their debt to society and they're productive men of society. But god damn, this is the point that I say. Take away political parties. This is the attitude you get, making a goddamn decision. Mm-hmm. Even if that decision benefits you. You take away political parties. See, you're not going to get as real as a conversation as this one. Thanks in part to the chief engineer, Chaos Ring.
That's right.
I don't even want donations. Give them to Chaos. Mm-hmm. Because he's helping us cook tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for the ones who did. But guess what? This is the part that is disgusting. It doesn't even have to be political. Asians are the least amount of people in America to vote. But look how unified they are. Look how much business they get. The Asian community is so tight, they have an Asian liaison in the Baltimore Police Department. They have an LBGTQ liaison in the police department. But the goddamn city of Baltimore is 70% black.
Ain't that something?
Ain't that a bitch?
Mm-hmm.
Your sons have to run into a motherfucker like me if he's blessed by the creator and the ancestors to get even a fair shot, even if I have to arrest him. At least he's not going to be disrespected or mistreated. But you have a liaison for someone who is less than 3% of the population, 2, maybe 1. You have a Hispanic, 5% of the population. But and I'm going to tell you what it is. I agree with Wanda. But even deeper, take the political parts away. And this is the culture. Takes you 3 to 4 generations to change culture. And see, how do you change the environment? You change the players in it. You change the circumstances in it. If you voted for black men to become more educated, if you voted for My Brother's Keeper, if you voted for the Gray Faulkner Initiative to be enacted, in the words of my good buddy Jason Lee, at that point, black women would have to submit. See, I'm gonna give y'all a game for some of you guys who are hard pressed to understand women. Every woman wants a man she can look up to.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman wants a man that she can look up to and be like, you know what? If heaven and earth starts to crawl, if hell starts to erupt, I know that man is going to keep me and the kids safe. Fuck fuck a high tier man, fuck a blue collar man. She wants an effective one. Okay? High tier, she can get it. Effective, it's a must. And this is the reason why I'm just saying, why so serious? Why so much vitriol? Why so much hatred? You're mad. See, every time a black man becomes successful, you don't even talk positive about him. Oh, I bet you he's going to go get himself a white girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be goddamn. Goddamn Robert F. Smith. 400 motherfuckers at Morehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Gave them their freedom papers. We don't have heroes because you shun them. I don't give a fuck if I got 30 to 30,000 motherfuckers listening to me. You're going to hear this goddamn truth, and you're going to hear me cook. I'm going to go out back on that fucking porch, and I'm going to open up that grill and put some goddamn brisket and some goddamn charcoal on that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
A goddamn black billionaire, like we got an abundance of them, not only paid off their school debts, but y'all worried about who the fuck he goes to bed with at night.
Mm-hmm. Well, be honest with you, this would not be an issue if he was paying black women student debts.
If he went right across the yard, I've been to ATL. My ex-girlfriend graduated from Spelman, so I'm fucking familiar with it. Mm-hmm. You go across the fucking yard, and if he would have done the shit for Spelman, not a damn thing said. And you damn right, paying off student debts, Vonda. That's why I fucks with you, Vonda.
Mm-hmm.
Paying off student loans is definitely the freedom papers.
Yep.
Because the only thing you guarantee from college is some goddamn debt.
Well, you got to understand, Charles. He paid off black male student loan debts.
He kept black men away from being put in economic hell.
Actually, economic castration. Paid off their debts. If he paid black women's debts in college, then the black men, you wouldn't hear enough right now. They'll say, "Oh, that's a generous saying." Man, you wouldn't even hear about the white woman. To be honest,
I'm supposed to go to a guy like Sonny Box and talk, and I'm supposed to be like, "Yo, I want my son and a couple of my wrestlers to box because they want to get into MMA. I want you to get that stand-up game tight." He's supposed to come to me. I want your boxers. I want you to teach wrestling to my boxers because we could dominate this and put black men on the map in MMA and dominate the way we should. I should be able to look at another black man and say, my brother, my hero, my savior. I should be able to look at a black woman my support, my glory, my honor, my queen. I'm supposed to conquer fucking lands and economics in your fucking name. You know what? Play this goddamn video. This microphone's smoking. Play that goddamn microphone.
All right.
Who, by the way, I think is up there in her 80s. She's like 82 years old, guys. Like, guys, what are you doing in politics at 82 years old? I mean, seriously, this woman was born in 1938, guys. I mean, she's basically the same age as my grandma. I have no idea how somebody this old can still be in office making decisions, guys. I just don't get it. I mean, she has been in politics since 1976, and she's been in the U.S. House of Representatives since 1991. It's literally been 30 years, almost 30 years.
29 years.
It has almost been 30 years this woman has been in the House, and what has she done for her district? I mean, we know what she's done for herself. She has been named, guys, one of the most corrupt politicians by a liberal group. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this. In 2004, the Los Angeles Times accused Maxine Waters' relatives of having made more than $1 million during the preceding 8 years by doing business with companies, candidates, and causes that Waters had helped. The Los Angeles Times claimed that her and her husband helped a company get government bond business, and her daughter Karen Waters and the son Edward Waters have profited from her connections. Liberal watchdog group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington named Waters to his list of most corrupt members of Congress in 2005, 2006, 2009, and 2011. I mean, guys, this woman is as corrupt as it gets. She's as corrupt as it gets in politics, guys. And she's sitting here talking about black men. I mean, first of all, talking about how we think that we're going to receive some form of money. First of all, guys, I've said this 1,000 times. I don't expect the government to give us anything. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Not in terms of no money, right? Everybody know I'm against reparations. So why would I support Trump? Because I think he's going to give me some money. Again, I don't think she's ever heard a real argument from a black conservative, let alone somebody like myself, who's a black male conservative. I don't think she's ever heard anything. Because if she heard that, she wouldn't say that stupid statement. She's in a roundabout way calling us sellouts when she's been selling out her whole district her whole life. Maxine Waters is responsible for California's 43rd congressional district. I mean, this is part of South Los Angeles, like Gardena, Inglewood, Torrance. Guys, these are commonly known places in LA that are the worst parts of LA. I mean, rundown, slums, poverty-stricken. I mean, Maxine Waters doesn't even live in her own district, guys. She lives in some $6 million mansion, like literally miles away from her district. Hey, check out this ad from a Republican challenger, Joe Collins, who's called out Maxine Waters on her BS and the fact that she's done nothing for those citizens for so many years. Look at this ad, guys. I'm Joe Collins. I'm running for Congress against Maxine Waters. Do you know where I am right now? Maxine Waters' $6 million mansion. Do you know where I'm not right now? Maxine Waters' district. Yep, that's right. Maxine does not live in her district, but I do. I was born right here in South LA, in a place Maxine refuses to live. Maxine Waters does not drink our water. She does not breathe our air. And while she sits here in her mansion, our district is in ruins. Let me show you.
Just when it was getting good. God damn it, Jim.
This is South LA. I was born here. I grew up on 104th and Normandy. Maxine Waters has been in office for 44 years. Has anything got better around here? I can tell you firsthand that it hasn't. I survived a drive-by shooting in this house when I was a child. Gangs, drugs, violence. That was my upbringing. And where was Maxine Waters? Nowhere to be found. I survived Maxine's district. Graduated high school, went on to join the U.S. Navy. I fought for this country. But while I was fighting for this country, Maxine Waters could not be bothered to fight for her own district here in America. And when I returned from war, I came back to my community as a war zone. And why doesn't Maxine Waters want to live in her own district? Because she doesn't want to suffer the consequences of her own policies. South Los Angeles has been represented by Maxine Waters for years. What has she done for this district? Just this year, deadly crime spiked 15% in South LA due to gang activity. The homicide rate in South LA has shot up by 53%. South LA has the highest poverty rate in the city, with a crippling 42% of its residents living below the poverty line. Meanwhile, in LA County has a homeless population of over 40,000 people. Homelessness rate has
40,000 people is a town.
Since 2009. Los Angeles is one of the largest hubs of sex trafficking of young girls and women. LA is in the top 10 least safest cities in America to raise a family. And our schools fail our children. In South LA, 29% of black children never graduate high school. Look at this. How many little Latino and black children has been abandoned by Maxine Waters? This is the reality for children every day in Maxine Waters' district. Maxine doesn't care about our district. She only cares about herself and using our tax dollars to buy mansions. When Maxine fails to lead, riots and violence surge in our streets. What has she done to help anybody in her district outside of herself? The only thing she's done since she got in Congress is enrich herself and her husband. That's the only thing she's done, guys. But she's sitting here trying to talk about young conservative black men trying to get some money from Trump. When you've been pimping poverty, making money off the government your whole life. You've been taking money from the government your whole life. Ain't no black conservatives I know looking for money from the government. They ain't looking for no money from the government. Not the ones I know. Now I can't speak for everybody, but I'm not. I haven't asked for any money from the government. I don't think Trump won't give me no money. If Trump reelected, I don't expect a dime from President Trump. But like I said 1,000 times, black liberals, particularly black women, think that they own black men and that they control how black men are supposed to think. Black men are becoming more conservative and they're voting for Trump because we want to take back our households. We don't agree with this agenda to feminize the man, de-emasculate the man, and to make him not be the head of the household. Men want to be men, and this applies across the board, guys. This doesn't just apply to black men. But in particular, black men have been targeted for this type of social engineering in which they're trying to make the black woman or the liberal black woman the man of the household and have them take care of everything. And they're trying to relegate the black man to just jail and selling drugs. That's what they're trying to do. And when you don't want to do that anymore, when you want something better for yourself, when you want to think differently, they're the ones that get the most upset about it. And she said that it's unforgivable. It is unforgivable that you are turning your back on your own community by voting for President Trump.
Wow, who said that?
That is what she thinks about black men. If you don't fall in line, what you're doing is an unforgivable sin, and that you're not black. Same thing that a white man, Joe Biden, by the way, said. And this is why people love to bring up the Joe Biden "you're not black" comment, because it just brings to light what everybody thinks and knows about the Democrat Party and how they treat black people, what they really think about black people. Even the black politicians know. And they go along with it. And they'll sit in office for 30, 40, 50 years, collect money, be corrupt, while their districts are slums, running the ground, poverty-stricken. But then they'll turn to the black man, and if you dare vote Donald Trump, and you dare say you want anything different, if you dare say, hey, you know what, I don't want my district to be in poverty. Hey, you know what, I want to try something different. All of a sudden, that's unforgivable. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're voting for. Ramsden came out with a poll that showed that almost a third of black people are supporting Trump. Now, like I said, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they say, right? And if anything, it is a good sign going into the election for President Trump, but they're already starting to play the blame game. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective.
We're actually.
The link is in the chat. Let's have a conversation.
Yes, y'all can all come up now and voice your opinion.
Let's play that. Let's play that. Let's play that smooth ass song you were playing earlier.
All right, we'll play it while people wait to come in. So I'll start from the beginning.
Clap your hands, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Sonny, do that two-step, Sonny. Just clap your hands. Slow clap. Slow clap. Slow clap. Slow clap. Two-step. Imagine you got a beautiful woman by the waist, slow dancing with her. Spin her around, Biggs. Imagine that beautiful chocolate or light-skinned sister or medium-skinned sister. And she got the nice little dress with the back out. Come on, Vonda, come on up. I want to hear your opinion. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna call that song the slow bop.
Yeah.
Slow claps. We're gonna get a couple of y'all. See, this is the problem that I think the average person in the Black community is facing. Is that the Black male agenda. See, when Black men start to value themselves outside of what Black women think, that's when it becomes the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even against Black women. It's just saying, this is what my heart feels. This is what my soul thinks. This is where my mind says, you know what? I want to vote to my interests. I want to vote to whatever party has my interests. I would love to have Sonny, Vonda, a couple of people, Charles Curry, anybody who want to come up here and have a conversation about it. But man, it feels like every time I have a friend of mine listen to my show, I'm always defending the fact that I'm not some misogynistic gentleman. But here's the crazy part. If I'm willing to protect a woman, does that woman get to hear my criticism as well?
Mm-hmm.
If I protect a woman, does she have to listen and stay in the confines of protection? Especially if I did not leave her in the wilderness to get, destroyed by the beasts of the land. I'm just gonna say this to Black women: you're gonna have to support your men. You're gonna have to learn to be seconds in command. Because what you have been doing for the last 40, 50 years has not worked. If anything, it's alienated you from your men.
Yeah.
Anytime a black man says, you know what, exit stage left, I'd rather deal with interracial dating with the risks and dangers that may come with it than to deal with you. That's a damn shame.
Yeah.
And I'm not supporting interracial dating. You can date whoever you like. I'm just saying, do you want to win? Do you really want to win? Let Officer Faulkner coach you to being winners. I don't know everything, but I know some things. And I know that if we keep going on a strategy that's failing us, we should eject it and try something new. Hey, what's up, Vonda Love?
Hey, Charles.
Oh,
hey,
hello.
Welcome. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Love the voice. What do you have to say about all the videos and the comments that were made?
Well, for me personally, I just think that there have just been a lot of things that have, been orchestrated and designed to pit Black men and Black women against each other. I mean, it's been that way for centuries. My question would be, we have someone like a Maxine Waters, and she's been in, Congress for so long that she's, given the term of, Auntie Maxine, and my question would be, who is voting for this woman? Now, I'm going to keep it a buck. I have voted for her. I live in California, and I have voted for Maxine Waters, at one time. But I have not voted for her, and I can't even recount how long it's been since I've last voted for her. So who's voting for this woman? And that's what we have to look at. What is the demographic of people that's voting for this woman?
And I'm gonna tell you what's weird.
I don't know if it's easy to find that information, to be honest with you. Maybe a good search, but I'm not sure if I will do it tonight. I don't feel like a mood just to look, bounce around, find out who really is percentage will vote for her. But anyway, go on, Charles.
I think it's weird because I don't think Maxine Waters is a stupid woman.
Yes.
Champion power that long to be stupid. See, military science, just like the good Professor Cerulean would tell you, is dictated off of people who have foresight, who can see into the future and from multiple different vectors for all the slow people in the back. Number one, I believe she has a good amount of the Black vote. But telltale signs tell you she's itching for that Hispanic vote as well. How do we know? Look who was on her panel.
Right. I would agree with that. And she was
women,
those ones
you're a Black woman, and her haircut, her bald head is smooth like a bowling ball. I'll tell you that much, man.
Well, she was very supportive, of the immigrants and their rights and whatnot. And
Why they push her off of her job.
Yeah. Now, what were you saying, Vonda?
No, she was very, vocal with regards to the immigrants and, their rights and, making it possible for them to be here without issue. And, that was something that I took issue with, because, there are Black people, in this country, and, nobody has given them a thought, in decades, But, we've been in the news, and we've been in the news because we've been slaughtered. We've been murdered. Our men have been, killed, murdered in the street, with impunity. And nobody has said a thing about it. Yet she wants to talk about, immigrants. And when, you compare the two, for me, and my plight, I don't want to talk about, immigrants.
Exactly.
I want to talk about, my men that have been, slaughtered in the street. I don't want to hear about that.
Exactly. And see, this is, I've noticed one damn thing, Sonny, Chaos, Vonda.
Mm-hmm.
When we have these constructive conversations, I notice my viewership goes lower.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because some people just want to see black men and black women argue without any substance, without any what's the word I'm looking for? Any actions or anything to produce.
Mm-hmm.
See, we're not about that. We're solution based, and that was the promise I gave Chaos, and he gave myself, returned to myself, that we're solution based.
At least, yeah.
Even 2020 has been a fucking disaster. We're still solution based. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
See, you look at a Maxine Waters who's trying to get the last vestiges of black men and majority black women who vote for her, but she's really going for that Hispanic vote, and I hope the brother wins. You do need a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you should be past. She's almost 20 years past retirement age.
She been on retire. Usually retirement age on the average you could push around 30 at least, but
like 60, 65.
She's
82.
Yeah, she beyond it, but it makes me want to say for her political career, she accumulated on the average $3 million. That's an easy walk away from a decade ago or two, But because once we were in America, you could be a career politician, and once you get certain seats in office, that's actually for life. Now I think because really no one has really taken out a lot of these older people that's been in office for more than 20 years. Now I think about it.
And when people talk about Elijah Cummings, because he was a congressman in my city. What have you done for me lately?
Please speak on that, brother.
Oh, go ahead. You like that? You like that song, didn't you?
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned, because I was thinking about Elijah Cummings. He passed away, didn't
he? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, he was attacking Trump, and Trump had made a comment about his district, and the news media tried to spin it as if Trump made another racist statement and things of that nature. I got a brother. His channel is called Morris World TV. His name is Tahaka Bay.
Put his joint in the chat when you get a chance.
I sure will. But he has a show where he actually, after Trump made that statement, the brother went out on the streets, Baltimore streets, out in the hood, West Side. Mm-hmm. You know about that, brother. Mm-hmm. And he went to different people asking, how do you feel about what Trump said? And not only was he interviewing different people, you can see the streets, you can see the alleyways, all the houses, the row houses. But long story short, all of the people that he interviewed agreed with what Trump was saying. But if you're not from Baltimore, and the news media spin it, it's going to make it seem like, Trump is just saying something crazy, Trump being racist again, when he actually was just blunt about it.
Right.
And see, Sonny, I'm pretty sure how long you been coaching boxing?
About 10 years.
I've been coaching wrestling for almost 20 years. Next year, I make 20. Are you a similar coach to me when you know when to take a gentle hand, but you know when to rule with an iron fist?
Indeed.
And it's like there's sometimes I'm gonna be like, hey, you gotta motivate it, we gotta do it. But when I know you can do better and you refuse to do better, get your fucking ass and run. See, this is my viewership's going up because I'm cursing. Oh, I like that. See, this is what people don't understand. I may not be the biggest Trump supporter, but I do understand a man. See, I leave the high value stuff to Kevin Samuels. I like to stick with the effective man. I like to steal. I like to steal the stuff of the everyday brother from Obsidian for a minute, because I speak to both high tier men and effective men. Because the way a high tier man becomes a high tier man is because he had effective brothers watching his back. Okay. So when you hear a man say some shit, and it's funny, my girl Danny was asking me a question about a guy, and she asked me why do men think this way? I said, because you got to think, men and women brain patterns are different. We think differently. She was asking, like, why do all these men think this way? I said, simple. We go out and we have to be effective. Our brains think logic. But what happened was, for 40 years, they've been effeminating the boys, rewarding them for mediocrity. But you get around guys like Sonny and myself. No, nigga, can you make the cut or not? Because I like Sonny, I'm pretty sure I don't believe in participation trophies. You're gonna get it raw and in living color, okay? And like you said, Vonda, when you voted for this woman, you voted out of loyalty. If you know, that's if you could correct me if I'm wrong, right?
No, I mean, yeah, I thought that she was speaking to me and to what the community needed, and I believed her, but as time went on, I thought differently, and I'm allowed that, mistake. But my thing is that, this woman has had a consistent number of people voting for her for decades.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because it's like, who are these people that are voting for her? I mean, I don't know that we can even get the demographics. I think Chaos said that, there's no way you.
We
you gotta follow the money.
We can. And did I not say that? Did I not say that earlier, Sonny?
Yep.
He who
gotta
pays
follow the money.
rules. Look what happened with BLM, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And this is the crazy thing, Vonda and Sonny and Chaos. Like I told you earlier in the chat, Vonda, take away political opposition. The thing that gets me upset with the average black woman, not all, but too damn many, they think this way about their men making any decision. They could be going to the damn market. Honey, I don't want to eat pork anymore, so we're gonna try lean beef, chicken. You don't tell me what to do. Well, goddamn, woman, I'm trying to look out for our health. And this is the culture. And as we learn from the master teacher, BGS, and others, to change culture, you have to change the environment first. And see, this is the reason why, Cerulean and myself got together with the Great Faulkner Initiative. This is even, to me, I think it's even more sound than My Brother's Keeper. Because once you actually hold black men to certain training and you make them compete on a masculine level, because I told many of people before, a lot of this black girl magic is built off of black boy obsolescence. I don't mind sisters having degrees. I didn't finish my degree. I've dated 90% of the women I dated had degrees. Many of the women I've talked to have masters, but they have a conversation and they're baffled. Like, how the hell do you know all this shit? I could call a few right now. But we forget that intellect is not given, it's earned.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the part when I said, if you really want to show the unison of the black community, black women, support your black men.
You know what,
go
Charles?
ahead.
You know what? I actually agree with that. You know, I do feel like, you know, black women should support their black men, and it actually should be a united front. You know, it should be a public front. But you know what else I do think? I think at the end of the day, regardless of what black women say or do, I think black men need to do what it is that they know, I repeat, that they know they have to do, in spite of what the black woman says. You don't do anything based on what she thinks or what she says or what she supports or what she feels. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you know, if shit is happening and the black man is doing what he needs to do, she's going to be looking at him and be like, what the, wait a minute, what y'all doing? It's going to make her take notice. You know, my thing is that, you know what, there, you know, there are a lot of black women, you know, that can be very hard-headed, you know, that can be very self-centered, you know, it can be very, you know, focused on what it is that they feel like they need. You know, I was not happy with that interview on Fox Soul with, you know, Ice Cube, and I can see his frustration. And I was really irritated with that interview because he was like, yeah, this is a plan for black people. And they were like, well, what about black women? He's like, well, wait a minute, aren't you guys black people? They were like, no, but specifically, what do we need for black women? And I was just like, I mean, I didn't laugh because it was funny. I was just laugh because I was just like, are you guys kidding? Are you guys serious? He said black people, you know, and they wanted something specific for black women. So he said, okay, you know what? Well, all right. You know, I'll put it in there if you guys write it. And they were like, no, it was your initiative. You need to figure it out. And I was just like, really? He offered you guys like, okay, like an opening, like, okay, women, I need your help. I need your support. Help me write this. He actually said, I need help. And they were like, no. That was Claudia Jordan. No. It was all you. You initiated. So you need to figure out what y'all gonna do for black women. And to me, I was very, very, very irritated. I called a friend of mine and I was like, what the heck? I was so irritated with that. But my thing is even with that, I could see the irritation in him, but he composed himself so well. And I give the brother much props.
Hey,
I give him much props.
It goes again. Look at the selfishness. When we talk about black people, and mind you, those women, a lot of this will take and run and say, see, this is the black community right here. See that? I said, those when we see up there, those are women that are paid, and they have a mindset that they're entitled. So they feel this black man should make sure in detail, you must go back, restructure it, and put black women in everything.
Well, that's what I said, Chaos. I mean,
when Charles, you remember when the woman read the Great Folk Initiative? She did not see anything focusing on women.
I'll tell you who did it. It was she who will not be named, my ex.
Yeah. So go ahead, Vonda. Sorry.
So I'll tell Vonda this. Vonda,
mm-hmm.
I know you read the Great Folk Initiative, haven't you?
Yes.
What did you think about it?
I mean, I was very, you know, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. There were a lot of things that, you know, I had not, you know, thought about, but that's just the type of person that I am. I like learning, you know, I like listening to new ideas, you know. I think with each day I evolve, and I think it's a great initiative, you know.
I'm gonna tell you, Vonda and Sonny and Chaos, my ex, she will not be named. I gave her the 53-page initiative, and she said it was too broad. It didn't have enough statistics.
Mm-hmm.
I said, how the fuck did you not get enough statistics when, number one, we broke it down by military, law / law enforcement, education, housing, teaching, trades, and and we even used the statistics of the U.S. Housing Administration. Okay, how the hell can we not use? That means you skimmed over it and you did not read it to comprehend. You just read it just to make a reply.
Well, sometimes you got to read things a couple of times. I mean, sometimes you read it a second time, you get a different meaning. You read it a third time, and it starts to seep in. I mean, it's, it has a lot of things that, like maybe your way of thinking, you've never thought of this. And so it's very broad, it's very new, and I think, maybe, and I'm just speaking out of turn, I haven't spoken with her about it, but, maybe, if she didn't completely comprehend, the full scope of it.
And then I had to realize, excuse me, if it was some brother, if it was somebody, if it was a female with a letter, 2 letters in front of her name, or some white guy with 3 behind his, it would have been the gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and sometimes Acts. But when 2 black men come together because we have so much love for our fellow black men and black boys, that we want to see them do greatly, because we have so much love for the women who deserve good husbands and productive men. And I had to look at myself and I had to say, wait a minute. I had to look at her. Her father put her in predominantly white schools where many a time she was the only black child. And I like to quote Dr. Umar Johnson. You put a black child in a black school, he'll get a terrible education, but he loves himself. But you put them in a white school, they'll get a great education, but they'll hate themselves. And this is what we come to. You have so many women who don't even comprehend the greatness of their own damn men, because they were always taught that you can't let a black man get a decision in. This is Maxine Waters. Think about it. She's as old. She's a little bit younger than my grandfather, who's 88. She's about as old as my grandmother. My grandmother, at my great uncle's funeral, my godfather's funeral, her and her brothers handed me the keys to the kingdom and said, it's your turn to lead the family. That's not how Maxine Waters and her ilk thinks. If so, she'd have been retired 20 years ago. I want to hear from you, Chaos, and Vonda and Sonny about that.
If anybody else, but it's like this, Charles, that it shows a testament to the mindset of a good portion of our women in this community, that this is how things should be going. But then they complain about the community and why the men either not doing what they want to do or do what they should be doing, because you're trying to take power control, and people don't operate when you try and control them. I mean, it's that simple. Even the program of our boys and girls, especially the boys, you gotta remember, in all institutions, you're given a white face that teach you everything about not only your life, your way of how you view things, but also history. So when the young males now that is I guess approaching adulthood, why they're skipping over a lot of black women, is because of not only the program, but this is a period of generations after generations. And I feel a lot of our youth are adapting and saying they gonna make the difference. They're gonna change it up. And if that doesn't involve intermingling, they're well fine with that. And I think it can be a problem down the line, but this is an atmosphere that is created decades in advance, and this is the result of it. So in regards to Maxine Waters, I mean, she could say what she wants about black men all day, every day, But all I know is once this election goes by, how it turns out, I don't see her staying in office pretty long going on next year. Yeah. I think now, the way the country's going now, they're not going to have too many old heads. A lot of black people that's in certain office, that's Democrat especially, or Republican, but let's say Democrat, you could see the system's already said, all right, you people have been here too long enough. It's time to throw you out and put some new fresh heads. That's how I see things move forward. If anybody else want to respond, definitely you can go ahead.
Well, I would have to agree with that only because, the age of Maxine Waters, I mean, she's in her 80s. She's old. Let's just keep it a buck. She's old. At this age, she's already on the last, part of her life, and, you don't know anything at this point can possibly happen. But I'm still going to stick, to that, regardless of what, Maxine Waters says or what Black women think or what they've told you, if it's not conducive to the collective, of, our community as Black people, I don't think Black men should listen to it. Not only should they not listen to it, they should not, pay it any attention, any mind. And if they have an agenda and they know what it is that they have to do, they need to do it regardless. Because, either those Black women are going to listen or they're not. Don't let, that negativity be the reason why you don't do what is needed to be done for your community. Because, I mean, there are those Black women that, are on board. And guess what? Those Black women are, quote unquote, waiting to be led. But in the meantime, they're doing what they have to do, in life, just working, doing what they have to do. They're not making the lead. They're not making that leap because they're women. They're nesting in the environment that is there before them. Mm-hmm. But if they had men that, hey, took that leap, those women they would follow. I think that they would follow.
Mm-hmm.
Preach, girl, preach.
I mean, and I just think that that's natural. Women are built to nest in their environment and do what they have to do to survive. But, for me, personally, I will follow my man and I will, and I have no problem with the leader, but I will not follow a fool. And in the event that there is no leader and no one to follow, I'm going to make the best decision that I can make in what I see in front of me. Hopefully it's good, but I don't know if there's no leader there. I think, women, for the most part, and I'm not making any excuses or taking any accountability from anybody, but I'm just thinking overall, women do what the best that they can with what they have, and that's good women, that's bad women, and that's women in between. They just, whatever they have, they just make the best of it and they go with the flow, and they do what they can.
And Sonny, would you like to make a comment?
Sure. So earlier today, I was having a conversation on the phone with a young lady. I won't say her name. And somehow the conversation got towards marriage. And I could tell she was kind of fishing to see what I was going to say, what she thought about certain aspects of marriage. Mm-hmm. So she made a comment. She said that I don't consider myself to be marriage material. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, So I asked, I said, why would you say that? And she said, well, I got married at like 20, I think she said 21. And she was still living at home with her mom. She was like, and I guess the day before she moved in with her husband, her mother told her that, well, I guess it's the last day I'm going to be washing clothes for you. So long story short, she don't want to cook. She don't want to clean.
Wow.
And she don't want to wash. She don't want to wash any dishes. She don't want to cook. She don't want to clean. and she wants to be catered to. And then so she asked me, she was like, well, what do you think? I was like, well, for me, I don't mind things being 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I can't expect you to come home from work and to cook all the time, or you can't expect me to come home from work and cook all the time. I was like, as far as clothes, I wash my own clothes. You know what I'm saying? I know how to cook myself. But long story short, I don't have no rap for her. No rap at all, because she's not on the same page as me. So I say that to say women like that are like Maxine. You know what I'm saying? And she actually had a husband. Her husband, it was a reverse roles. Whatever works for the family, it works. But long story short, they're not together anymore. And a lot of that had to do with her. So I say that to say all of these old people who've been bought and paid for, because they obviously been bought and paid for. Like I said, in the chat, I've been to every state in the United States, and LA is one of the worst I've ever seen as far as homelessness. I've been to New York, all these other different states. Seattle's pretty bad too, but LA,
it's horrible.
Man, they got tents on tents on the side of the road. I'm like, whoa, what is?
It's a literal tent city from everybody I know from LA.
Yeah,
it's a literal goddamn tent city.
So I think what we need to do is, and like the sister said, I agree with her. Like, for those people who don't want to acquiesce, leave them alone. We gotta leave them behind and link with like-minded people and move forward. And then once the ones who are behind, they're gonna come. They're gonna come later, because there's nothing more attractive to a woman than a man doing what he's supposed to do.
Right again.
And especially when it's a group of men, like just hard body doing their work. So I think that after this election, because really it's kind of too late now. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I think after this election, we all as a people need to focus on handling things on a local level. And I read that the initiative that you put out. You know, you and the brother Cerulean, I believe, was Cerulean. Yeah, it was a great body of work. And I think that are you familiar with Boone and Brother Wolf?
Probably heard of them, but I'm not familiar right now.
Okay. I think that needs to go out to some of the people in the community, because that's where it's going to be most effective when people in the community hear about it. And once they hear about it, they can do their due diligence to put it forth, to make it walk. You know what I'm saying? To have legs.
Yeah.
I'll pass the mic.
And you know what's funny? I notice my viewership is going up. I'd like to thank you all for that. But see, this is the crazy part about it, is that when you have a military mind, and no, you don't have to actually be in the military to be militaristic or militant in itself. When you think of things, you should always surround yourself with friends and family who are forward thinkers, who respect the past but always look to the future. One of the funniest conversations me and my boy Darren will have, we will get into little debates politically. Sometimes I tell him, hey, you better research that before you go into that territory. He'll research it, then he'll talk. We'll talk about Madden and trying to get this good old-fashioned Ravens Kim team. And then we'll go into stocks and how much money we have in the stocks. Like shit. I bought about $50 of fucking stocks in American Airlines. Why? Because next year, that's what motherfuckers gonna be trying to do. Travel.
Yeah.
That's a little stock tip for some of you people, some of you newbies. See, I've always said this: lean not to your own understanding. If you ever know one thing about me, people think that, oh, you agree with everything BGS says. BGS will tell you to your face, I am one of the most staunchest motherfuckers you'll meet. I will challenge every goddamn thing he will say. But I will tell him on a panel, okay, motherfucker, you're right. Master teacher, you're right. There's times when BGS heard the things that I said, and I made the comment, black men are the garbage men of the dating world. And he said to me one panel, he said, you know what, I had to get off that goddamn panel for 10 minutes because I was so angry with what you said. And then I had to get back on and tell you were goddamn right. Because black men do not see themselves in a position of power nor of respect. Okay? So once you start to understand your masculine principle as a man, like I had to explain to somebody, I am the protector, the provider, the problem solver, the procreator. My woman is supposed to be going to my will. She's the beautiful dreamer. I'm the person who makes the dreams happen. Okay? Like I said about the women, she's supposed to be the protector of your image and your glory. Because how your woman sees you is how the world sees you. And I meant to ask you, Sonny, what part did you like of what I said about the women? Oh, he's muted.
Yeah. What you did today that I really enjoyed was you put a visual to your words. So you gave an example of the type of women that you were talking about. And when that happened, it just reminded me of the conversation that I had today in light speed, as far as, okay, you don't want the house to be 50-50, right? And Shorty got kids, and she's been married before. And I'm sitting here, she's saying all this, and I'm picturing this in light speed. Like, the man is in the house, reverse roles, and your children are seeing this. So this is attitudes like this is why men cannot raise their children or their young men to be men, because the women gonna have something to say, like, don't do that, or don't punish him like this, or it's okay if he wear them high heels. All this I'm thinking in light speed is like, how can you come out your mouth and say you don't want to do no dishes, you don't want to wash no clothes, you don't want to cook no food, like you want to pay somebody to come in and clean the house? Like that's totally disgusting to me. And this is we're in a microwave society, and there are unfortunately a lot of women like that. And the women who are like that, they are raising sons to be feminized. So the women that you show on a panel, they're not going to allow the man to take a manful place in society.
So I just have a question. I mean, so with that being said, this woman, she showed you who she was. She not only showed you, she told you. So based on what she showed you and told you, you were then able to make a decision. You know, we are not a perfect people. We are flawed, you know, and that's just the way that we were made. There are no perfect people.
Oh, no.
But if you can get someone that is that honest with you and say, hey, I don't want to cook, I don't want to clean, I don't want to wash any dishes, wash any clothes, I don't want to do any of that, then you can definitely clear cut, without a doubt, make a decision whether you want to be, you know, entangled with the individual like that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have no more rap for Shorty. Like, we can be friends, but it's like you can't even meet me halfway. Like I already said, 50-50. Like, I'm not expecting you to cook every day. I'm a damn good cook. You know what I'm saying? I was taught to take care of myself. So when you come together as a unit, it's supposed to be teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Yin and yang, just like society is supposed to be teamwork. You know what I'm saying? But also allow the man to be the man. Like, she was married before, and she's telling me this, and I feel you. Sis, like, I'm already there. Like, no more rap. You know what I'm saying? No
Okay,
more rap.
good. Thank you.
No more rap.
See, Vonda.
I appreciate the honesty. You're like, thank you.
See, Vonda, how many times have we said women like you are an oddity nowadays?
And you know, I wouldn't even necessarily say that. You know, it's just, you know, maybe, you know, some women are just not straightforward, you know, but I mean, for this woman to sit up there and say all of that, I give her props that she said it, so you can make a clear cut decision. That's a count out. We're gonna count out on that one.
Oh yeah,
you know?
but you know what the bad thing about it is, Vonda? You'll have plenty of women, and I'm pretty sure there's men too, who say, "I'll do this, I'll do that," and guess what happens?
The opposite.
You look the fucking opposite.
Yeah, I
And
know.
see when you actually are given options, black men would not be mad if you gave us an option. Like my boy Sean, I think he's listening. I wish Sean would actually say what's up in the chat, goddammit. But but it's funny because Sean would even tell you, he would be like, well, Charles not attracted to big chicks, but he will respect a chick who's trying to get herself in shape and in a better position. Yes, I would. I will work with you. And see, this is the thing that a lot of black women don't understand, how egalitarian that black men are, that we're willing to compromise. Now, there are some things that myself and other men, we have our unmovables. We have our conditions that, if not met, we fucking gone.
Right.
Just like women should have them. So when you look at this and you're looking at a lot of these women out here who says, love me for who I am, that's bullshit. Because you sure as hell won't love us for who we are. If anything, we'll be fucking scrutinized.
Well,
well, go ahead.
That's where I think sometimes that, you know, we run into the, you know, the brick wall with each other, is that there are sometimes that we judge each other as the collective and not as the individual. You know, when I meet a black man, I don't look at him as a collective of black men. I look at him as an individual. And then, you know, once hello is said, then we start the relationship of a friendship and get to know each other. You know, so if I put out the collective, then I can start to judge this person as an individual and not judge him as a collective. But I think a lot of times what we do is we meet them and say, oh, you're a black woman. Oh, you don't think this, you think this, and you think that, and you feel black centered this. And to me, I think that's not fair for us to do that to each other. And then you have black women that'll meet a black man. Oh, you got a baby mama. Oh, you're this, you're that. You're not going to do this, and you're not going to do that. And that's just wrong. Rather than just basing the person on the individual relationship that you have or you're starting to build with that person. Because I mean, I know a lot of black people, but I don't know all black men, and I don't know all black women.
And that's the reason why I tend to be very careful of my vocabulary, because I still think there's very productive, queenly, elegant black ladies out there, and many people who will actually hear my thing. Even my man Zabar yesterday, he said, you had me rolling when you explained the difference between a lady, a woman, and a bitch. Mm-hmm. See, most people don't understand. My parents taught me to call things by its proper title. Why'd you call me a bitch? If you were acting like a lady, I wouldn't call you one. But, oh, that's rude. No, that's not rude. That's called honesty. Value it very carefully. and protect it like the sword that protects you. See, what we fail to see in many of these subjects is that, like we saw with Cube, like we saw with Maxine Waters, this is the type of leadership we need. So when you actually see a Maxine, how do I say it, piss on black male leadership, here it is. And you live there in her district. How the hell are we supposed to cultivate the next generation of black leadership when you benefit off of its obsolescence and struggle? How can you cultivate the next set of black leaders when you get paid from its downfall?
Right.
And this is the part that upsets me. And I'm not one of those guys to put black men and black women against each other. I like to make people think. But if a black woman says some ignorant shit, just as easy as I would say to a black man, you full of shit. And see, we got away from that because back in my grandparents' day, they'll tell you full of shit. See, I don't believe in political correctness. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather, if I'm doing something stupid, I'd rather you or Sonny to tell me, hey, Charles, stop that. That's stupid as fuck. That's unbecoming of a gentleman. I'm pretty sure you would like me to say something, pull you to the side and tell you the truth instead of letting you walk outside and be a fool, right, Rhonda?
Absolutely.
Right.
And you know what? You know what, bro Charles? I'm my brother's keeper. Like I would tell you, with all due respect.
and that's one of my best friends, Sean Gillespie. What's up, Sean? Yeah, I'm putting you out there, nigga. and it's funny that you mentioned my brother's keeper. Because my brother's keeper was a telltale sign about how black women in the modern era thought about their black boys and black men. Obama was trying to shame black men, but you know what? Obama wasn't ready for the clapback. They said, nigga, oh, y'all need to take care of their kids. Nigga, give me an opportunity and a way and an economic stimulus to take care of my goddamn kids. And he was like, word? Okay, we're going to start my brother's keeper. And guess who shitted upon my brother's keeper? White men and black feminists. What about the girls?
What about the girls? The girls are all right. They're not in no fallen categories in education in all areas. But you sure? Let's keep it real. When we talk about black male failure, when they talk about black men have failed, and have dropped the ball and all that stuff, it's really giving an excuse to say, you know, I just want to continue with the fuckery.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on no ruleship with no man, period, especially no black man.
Yeah, and I would tell women who do not want to listen to their men, go over there.
Go over there.
Because when women like Vonda, women like Nicole Ali, who's a bona fide scientist, see, the one thing I love about this manosphere, you have boxing coaches like Sonny, who has vast knowledge in other subjects as well, a police officer like myself, and people like Chaos who have vast knowledge of different things. See, when you have productive black people doing what productive people do, don't come over here once we get that train moving like fucking heat wave, because we riding the groove line tonight. Okay? Because I don't feel sorry. Lady, you want to keep having babies by Nif-Nods? Go right ahead and watch No Man Wants You. Nigga, you want to keep committing crimes when we showing you a way to make legal money, more money than you being on the street? Go ahead and watch your life expectancy get cut short. See, sometimes you gotta say some ugly shit to some very beautiful people. And I think my people are very beautiful. But guess what? To keep it real and to keep them living, we got to say some ugly things. We got to talk about some truths.
Well, sometimes
Spe-
the truth
spe-
is ugly. Sometimes the truth is ugly, and a lot of people sometimes cannot take the truth. But I mean, it is what it is, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad
well,
you said that.
well,
Go ahead,
well,
Sonny.
so since we talk about truth and ugly truth, I'm gonna say this with all due respect. I love you, brother Chaos, but I personally disagree with you just said about women are okay. I don't think that they are okay.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because I'm of the thought that the problems that we have as a people, it's not a woman problem alone or a man problem alone. It's a collective problem because the problems that we have, we've all partaken in of it. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. There's a lot of women out there that are very progressive. Like they're taught to handle your business, don't rely on no man, and they're taught that for a reason. A lot of women will teach their daughters this for a reason because somewhere down the line they have had their heart broken by a man and they had to raise that child by themselves. So the family unit, our family unit right now is at disarray, and it's not just the man's fault. It's not just the woman's fault. It's no way that we can point our fingers at someone else because we got like three fingers pointing back at ourselves. I
Mhm.
think that we all need to focus on ourselves individually because truth be told, we are the men. We are the ones who are supposed to be on the forefront making things happen. Our conditions are the way that are. Our conditions are the way that they are because we haven't came together as a people yet. When you look at people like the Jews in Baltimore, and I'm Baltimore. They got row houses that you can purchase for $5,000, turn around, fix it up, and flip it.
No.
But
I
we're
gotta
not
correct you. I gotta correct you with that. Try $50.
Wow.
$50. Yeah, I know it was
$50 because
I know it was a five. So
$50. But see, this is the trick bag, right? This is the fucking trick bag. I'm glad you touched on that, but I'm gonna let you finish. See, this is the fucking trick bag, right? When we look at black men and black men issues, the leadership in the black community has been gynocentric. It's not because of what somebody believes. This is what history has ordained. Okay? Because they didn't look at us as the power. The reason why you had women back in the day, because guess what? They needed that man to work. So they had to fall in line. Be like, you know what? I can't give him that much shit. He is doing this. But during the 80s, because in Baltimore, when you had Inner Harbor Ford, when you had Buffalo Steel, when you had all these places where men worked trades, it was beautiful. Because for years, I mean for fucking years, black men had put their children and their women through college. There was no shame in the black community of a black man working a blue collar trade job and his woman having a college degree. There was no shame. See, once you put this fucking white woman and this white man into the business of the average black family, that's when the disarray happened. When that fucking 70s shit into the 90s, because guess what? If I was married 10 years ago and I was helping my wife go through fucking college through my GI Bill, you think I'd be ashamed of that shit? She would be my cheerleader and I would be her fucking knight in shining armor. Like I told you, your woman should look at you in 3 different ways. My hero, my brother, my savior. You should look at her in 3 different ways. My battery, my support, my lady. Tell me if I'm wrong or right. And what we failed from this, you know, is that we're trying to live our lives through white lenses. Oh shit! Somebody take the mic. Take this goddamn mic.
I agree with everything you just said.
I do too.
But
Mm-hmm.
one thing that you didn't mention, and that's why I say that we can't point the finger at ourselves, because some of the things that happen to us didn't happen by our own hands. So like when you look at
remember what I said when that white intervention came in.
You know, Baltimore used to be the city that what? That reads beautiful. You sit down, and beautiful place. But that Heron came in. You know what I'm saying? The drugs came in, and we are not the ones.
Oh, you talk about old Ron and this girl Kane.
Yep.
Cocaine.
Yep. That when that came in, it destroyed pretty much a generation. And the jobs that you spoke about, what happened to them?
They went over east.
And that's
Baltimore,
I agree with you.
Over east, far east. See, we became the city that reads to the city that bleeds. Go ahead, Rhonda.
And no, that's why I was saying I agree with Sonny, where he was saying that, with the women, that, there are issues there with the women, that the women are not okay. I was raised, with the mother and the father, but it was my father who raised me. You better be able to take care of yourself. Don't depend on a man. My mother is the one who gave me the example because my mother worked. My father had a factory job until that factory closed. He worked at, a steel mill. That steel mill closed. So my mother had to go out and work. So I watched my mother go out there and go to work and take care of the family. But my father was the one who taught me, do not sit back and wait for a man to take care of you. You need to be able to take care of yourself. That was given to me by my father, not my mother.
And you know what the funniest thing about that, Vonda, is? We would never dare teach our sons that.
Ain't that something for us?
We would never teach our sons, don't depend on a woman, don't trust a woman, none of that shit. Because in my heart of hearts, a woman should depend on a man. Because a good man will make a way. See, that's the reason why I teach the stories of the effective man. Mm-hmm. I may not always be high tier. If I got one leg on my body and two hands on my soul, I'm gonna make a way. If I gotta give blood, if I gotta fucking do whatever the fuck I gotta do, collect cans, change tires, whatever, change brakes, oil, whatever. If I gotta play security to a fucking rapper, which I've done, several of them. Oh, and trust me, they love me because they were like, how we know you can protect us? I want all of y'all to jump on my ass at one time to see who survives. We're sold. Yeah. So we got to realize this is the reason why I've always said the effective man needs the quality woman. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a series, just to let y'all know. You better tell your goddamn friends. Yep. See, what the effective man is, he's neither good nor bad. He gets it done.
Right. Come hell or high water. That's just what it is.
There may be some people who may have their jaws broken. You know what I'm saying, Sonny? Chaos.
Yeah.
And there may be some people whose legs got to be broken. Don't fuck with the family, and you don't fuck with the family's money. And you sure as hell don't fuck with family's children and woman. See, this is the shit that you got to understand. And my best friend of 25 years, one of my brothers, Sean, will tell you, come hell or high water, I'd rather have death than dishonor to my family. See, I have another goddaughter who's going to be born in the next few months. Hopefully she's born on my birthday, April 1st. Mm-hmm. One of my other brothers, even though we talk shit about each other, like if we said it in front of you, you'd think we hate each other. But guess what? I bet you that motherfucking Ali will pump my heart with his fucking blood, and I would do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Let him right now say we got some trouble in his house. Guess who's gonna have a boot on his fucking leg who needs surgery and will have surgery later this month? Will come with a fucking 5.56 rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who would do the same? See, one thing about it is the one word that we lost in the black community. What's up, Leon? Woo!
Trust.
One thing we lost in the black community is one word we lost, and it starts with an L. It ain't love, it's loyalty.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
We lost the word loyalty. See, the thing that angers me with black women, stop talking your goddamn shit about your man. How you view your man, the world's going to view your man. The man is supposed to protect the family and the society, the community, the country. The woman is supposed to protect his image and his glory. How the fuck can you protect his glory if you sleep with every man behind his back? How are you supposed to protect his glory? How are you supposed to protect his image when you saying these niggas ain't shit? This is the reason why you got to go back to this fucking effective man. This is the reason why I'm going to sit down these 2 fucking weeks and I'm going to write up a schedule filed to the T. Like I said before, the rite of passage for the black man. Sonny, get your boxes ready because we're going to go in, my brother. Vonda, you get your sisters ready. We're going to go in, my sister.
All right.
Because guess what? You know what the first rule of the rites of passage for any man, Chaos, Vonda, and Sonny?
Yeah.
He's got to go on that lonely journey.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to remove himself from the comforts of mama and daddy. Huh. Somebody's got a candygram, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And can I piggyback off that, brother?
Go right ahead. You know, you roll that beautiful Bing footage.
Along with that, our women need to allow us to take our young men out to do that and stop trying to coddle them.
Sonny.
Somebody give me some organ music. God damn it, Chaos. We need some sound effects. Give me some organ music, goddamn it. Give me some goddamn organ music.
Interrupt. When it comes to that, I'm going to tell you, you know, that's where the man has to take the lead. I'm going to tell you, I raised a son, you know, with my husband, and there were things that he felt which was best for this boy child that we were raising. We didn't have a girl, we had a boy child. And there were things that he felt which were best. And because I trusted this man, I was married to this man, I relented and I relinquished and I let him do these things.
How many times you bit your lip?
I probably had to do it a bit because I wanted to, because that was my baby. This is a child that you carry for 9 months and you nurture it, you breastfeed it, you bottle feed it, you change its diapers. You know, you're responsible for the care of this child. So when it's time to give this child tough love, let's say that the child is not acting correctly, they're not behaving like they should. And the man is like, no, you know what? He's old enough to be able to do that. You know, and you're like, oh no, this is still my baby. But your husband has spoken. You know, at that time, it is for that man to say, because there was a time, you know, for me, it was very economical and time, you know, saving for me to shower and bathe with my son. Okay. But he got to a certain age and my husband was like, look, you need to stop bathing with him and he needs to bathe on his own. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, so offended. I'm like, no, it's gonna, you know, I'm going to school and, you know, it's just gonna go by quicker. But he was very firm in what he said. Mm-hmm. So I could have said, oh, bump you. But, you know, I'm deferential with my man. You know, I was raised to respect men. You know, I mean,
say that shit for the niggas in the back who didn't hear you.
And you know what? That is typical of women who have fathers. there are a lot of women who did have fathers, and they are very respectful of a man's authority.
Oh
So,
my God, my heart, Elizabeth. I'm coming to see you, Elizabeth.
yeah. So when my husband spoke and he was like, "Oh, he needs to stop bathing with you," I immediately in my blood, I was like offended, and I wanted to object, and I wanted to say no. So you are going to have women, because maybe that's just the nature of women, but that's the way I felt,
That's
because that was my baby.
And that was that nurturing.
But you as a man, she cannot let you do anything with regards to that boy child. You have to say, look, this is what it is. And, I don't know how you say it to her. I don't know what type of woman this is, but you have to make it be known that there comes a point where the man, what he says, he has, like more authority because he knows better. And it goes a little bit past your, oh, that's my baby. Because my husband stepped in and he did that several times. And I was just like, oh, no, that's my baby. Because that's my natural feeling. But he was like, no, you need to stop, or he needs to be doing such and thus.
And then when that child does not listen, this theme song kicks in. Mighty Panther comes out. Oh, you can just hear the ninjas. Oh, I don't feel like taking the trash, Dad. Say what? Bow! Oh, you got a little brother too? Oh, we fighting. Shut that shit up. I was waiting for that. Oh, we got too much funny.
Well, that is
my
my
God.
take.
Oh yeah, by the way, my boy Leon, one of my other brothers, he said, buy that man Sonny a beer. And he pretty much said, buy you. He said, I know that, and I know a Leon, he be like, I know Vaughn is a lady, so buy that chick a Moscato.
And one more thing,
my
man.
take on it, that's just the way I feel. I just feel like there are certain times where there's no negotiation. And, it's not, well, she said, or she wouldn't let me. It's like, nah. And you know what? And when you really like put that foot down, she will know like, oh, he means business. Okay. Let me step back, because I'm not about to be shaking this up.
And I'm going to tell you some shit. When I was dealing with my ex, what's her name? God damn it. Sharon. There were times she has her son, youngest son, and my son are best friends. Even her older sons and her daughter looks at my son as a little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Even to this day, even though we broke up, she would never challenge me if I had to discipline her son. She would never challenge me if I had to solve an issue with her son at school. He was having an issue because, when you're usually the youngest, you're the run of the family, except my Uncle Buddy, my great Uncle Buddy on my mother's side. That motherfucker was the smallest one of the run, and was the run of the family, and then somehow he became 6'8". Truck driving motherfucker. I used to love it when he used to come to my grandfather's house, because he'd take up all the parking spaces with his 18-wheeler. Some old ignorant nigga shit. I loved him. Red-haired motherfucker. And it was like funny because he was small. And people may say I'm crude for doing this, but we're men. This is what we do. I was like, don't you ever come to my truck crying because some nigga picked on you, and you see my big ass head with this goddamn nightstick. And I said, well, he tried to keep picking on me and did something, and he pushed me to the ground. But when I got up and took my coat and book bag off to fight, he wouldn't do anything. I said, you know what we call that as men? You know what we call that guy? He's like, what? We call him a bitch. I said, go ahead. You can say it this once. And you know, his little squeaky voice, he's a bitch. and people be like, You know, it's one of those things you let kids feel good about themselves. And I said, this is what you do. You ball your fist up. See how you ball your fist up? You balling it from the top down. You ball it from the bottom up. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Sonny?
Indeed. We ain't don't want to break no fingers.
You ball it from the bottom up because you get a tighter grip and that shit is like sledgehammer. And I said you aim for his nose. The bridge of his nose is your target. Oh. You aim from the bridge of his nose, the side of his jaw, the tip of his jaw if you got an uppercut, or his temple if you got a hook.
Ouch.
That's called a man's life. I said if he tries you, you hit him with one straight to the nose and one to the chin or the temple. And I bet you he won't touch you no more. So I went to pick him up the next day, right? And he was like, I balled my fist up the way you told me. And he stepped away and ran. You get to say it one more time. What is he? He's a bitch. Okay, that's enough. That's how you treat him. That way you should fear nothing anymore. See, you can't get that type of lesson from a woman. Except my mother, because she used to be in a fucking gang. No, I'm not lying. She'll actually tell you. She'll tell you. You know, and it's funny because my mother and father told this one kid, they were like, oh, I don't like your son. They're like, that's cool. Wait till he stopped liking you. And he one time picked me up from school, and he said, I went to pick him up, and he said, Charles, put him down on the ground and start beating the hell out of him with this Tonka truck. So there's times when you look at kids, and like Vonda said, she had to back down and adhere to masculine leadership because she knows at that moment, father knew best. Because you're not raising just your son. You're raising someone's father. You're raising someone's wife. You're raising someone who has to be a warrior one day. What if he goes to the military and he has to defend our country? Mm-hmm. You know, in ancient Kemet, in ancient Greece, in Rome, the women used to say to their sons, either raise your spear in victory or come back dead on your shield. In the words of my boy Ali, watch out now. See, I like to tell this. You gotta like my name tag, 00 Negro. Shout out and rest in peace to that legendary Sean Connery. Mm-hmm. See, I like to say this to Chaos, Vonda, Sonny, and the people in the chat. You know, the one criminal offense that I would charge the Black community, we killed the warrior spirit of our young boys. What do you think? We will be quick to tell our daughters. I will say this real quick. We will be quick to tell our daughters, don't rely upon no man. But we would make sure, oh, you need to listen to your wife. You need to take it easy on your wife. But do we teach our sons to be self-sufficient as well?
Well, I'm going to tell you, just from, my experience and what I've seen, there was a quote that ran through my family that, my grandmother raised her daughters to be strong and she coddled her boys. Mm-hmm. I've heard that since I was a little child. I'm not going to even, try to, hide that or anything, but that's what I heard. And it was true. She raised her girls to be strong and to handle themselves. And thus, those mothers raised their daughters, to, be quote unquote strong and handle your business and do what you have to do. you know, and the boys were, you know, given a lot more leeway, certain things that the boys were not responsible for. You know, the girls were responsible for all of the household chores. The boys only had to take out the trash and maybe rake some leaves. That was the gist of it. But the girls were responsible for everything else inside of the home. And there's more than just, you know, leaves and, you know, taking out trash. Taking out the trash is easy. I would have switched with that in a minute, you know, rather than washing dishes for, you know, a family of, you know, 10, you know. It's like, okay, that's a lot of people to be cleaning up after, and pots and pans and whatnot, you know. So well, that's the way it was for girls. And so for the girls in our family, the girls have actually fared a lot better because they know what they got to do. You're going to go out and get a job. And it wasn't go out and get a man. It was go out and get a job and handle your business. You know, you got rent, you know, you got car notes, you know, you have to do. So you're going to go out and take care of your business, but you're going to work to do it. You know, whereas the boys is like, you know, boys are, and I think it has to do a lot with, you know, like the lynchings back in the day. Boys were, don't be aggressive, and, you know, oh, you know, let us know if you need anything, because we don't want you to have to come into contact, you know, with police or to have issues. So there was a little bit more coddling.
It was, to answer your question, that stemmed from slavery. Because don't make the mind weak, but the body strong. Don't buck up the master, because you know he gonna tar and feather you and beat the hell out of you. That's why when you look at the black community, a lot of our women, instead of talking to the boys, seeing what's wrong, the first thing she'll do is beat the hell out of them. No, master, you don't have to beat him. I beat him myself. Give me that belt. Give me that whip. Instead of actually talking and communicating with your children. And this is the reason why I said we need to stop looking at our black men as ATMs with a dick, as wrenches or screwdrivers or power tools with a dick, AAA with a dick. Come fight my battles. And I'm not saying you do it, Vonda, but there's too many ladies. Like there was an incident. Lady went to the dollar store and she was all types of wrong. The security officer said, hey, you can't come in here without a mask. And she like, why the fuck do I need to come in? Typical bullshit. Typical ratchet ass black woman shit. Not a black woman, not a black lady, but typical ratchet ass bitch shit. So instead of actually leaving the place and saying, you know what, I'm wrong. No, not when you're dealing with niggas. She comes in to get her son and her husband, who happens to be the stepfather of the son. And the guy comes out, her husband, and shoots the guy in the head.
Oh no.
Over a fucking argument. And here it is. You got three black men lives destroyed. One's dead. You had a black man who worked security and other jobs, had 5 kids. And his wife said he was the greatest father she could pray for. But you got these simp ass niggas, instead of saying, woman, if that would have been my wife, I'd have told you what I would have done. I'd have told her, you're going to wear this goddamn mask. You're going to come up here. You're going to apologize to that black man. Either that or your ass walking home. Because once again, you're supposed to protect my image and my glory. Did this man put his hands on you? No. Did this man try to sexually objectify you? No. Was this man telling you something within the constructs of his job and was respectful about it? Yeah. Then why the fuck you acting up like this?
Wow.
And I'm sorry, people may say, oh, that'd be harsh to talk to you like that. No, that was that man's job to correct his wife. Because if he actually not thought like a simp and thought like a man and took control of the situation, 3 lives would not have been destroyed. You see what I'm saying, Vonda?
Yeah.
And see, this is the reason why women like you, we treasure. When do we ever say anything wrong about Char Willie? A Nicole Ali? A Vonda, like who you are, Vonda H in the chat, and other women like that. Even when Miss Gigi was upset and she started cussing at me, I said, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Did I disrespect you? No. I said, one thing we don't do is disrespect each other, especially when it's not wanted. I gave you the utmost respect. You have to apologize. You know what she did? She actually got off her high horse and apologized. And I give her credit for that. I know she was in her emotions. I know she's in her feelings. Yes, women are more emotional. And as a grown-ass man, I understand that. That's why I gave her time. But see, I want to hear from Chaos and Sonny. Do you think too many men are afraid to tell their women they're wrong in person? Oh, they might be asleep. Chaos.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah. I was asking a question. Do you think too many men are afraid to tell their women they're wrong in person?
I don't know. I really can't. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can't speak for other men because I don't know. I'm not in a lot of people's business, so I'm not sure what other men do. I know as for me, I speaks up. You know what I'm saying? But I speak up.
He said I speaks up.
but I speak up in a way that's there was a guy who taught me something which is very profound to me, especially in an argument. Like if you're trying to diffuse a situation, it's kind of like a boiling pot of water. If you want the boiling pot of water to calm down, turn down the heat. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna respond in a way that's going to be less likely for you to respond back in a harsh way. You know what I'm saying? But also us men, we need to stop rushing into situations and really take our time with these women and ask them the tough questions. You know what I'm saying? About certain situations, because a lot of times we have a bad habit of treating women like them dumpsters. They call it the cum dumpsters. I think we need to change things up as a whole, as a people. I think women should probably keep their legs closed for the right man.
Exactly.
Give yourself time to heal.
Exactly.
We a lot of times we jump into one situation into another one. You haven't even healed yourself. But men, sometimes we can be too quick because
a lot of
the lust of the eye.
A lot of time we carry on even more damage.
You're right.
Sometimes we carry on, and see, this is the shit that I don't agree with, is the predatory nature that a lot of men look for these women who are weaker. And instead of actually saying, you know what, I need to get my shit together, and I need to get myself out of sex, and I'm speaking about both black women and black men.
Mm-hmm.
We developed this predatory nature where they call men the vampires and the women the succubi.
Mm-hmm.
Where we train the life energy out of each other. And I'm pretty sure that's close to what you were saying, right, Sonny?
Yes, I mean, pretty much, because, not to go too deep, but You know, when a man enters the woman's womb for the first time, there's a light covenant because there's blood that's shed. You know, you breaking a seal, and you're imprinting a part of yourself into that person. But a lot of times we turn around and we dog them out, and from there they're scarred. They're hurt.
You break
They
your
got
body.
that. You know, then they go into another relationship with baggage. Then the men, we got baggage. I think some of the old values probably need to come back, you know, because we as a whole need to be healed. So I think that men, we would alleviate most of our problems if we just be patient and take our time and get to know these young ladies and vet properly. We wouldn't go through a lot of the things that we go through. You can even, you know, do some test them.
Can you say that? Can you say that shit for the niggas in the back who didn't hear you?
You can even test them just to see what they'll do in certain situations, because you never know. A lot of times, people put on a fake face, but like you don't really get to know who they really are. Sometimes it's too late. So, you know, be wise about who you pick, because a lot of times a man to get hurt, and the next thing you know, all women this, all women that. Same thing with women, all men this, all men that. Like, no,
dude, I'm gonna donate to your shit because you're just preaching right there. See, that's what I felt into. See, how many times have you heard me say, no matter how fucked up the women are in this world, does that keep you from being a man?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't at all.
How many times have you heard me to say, I don't care how scummy some of these guys are, does that keep you from being a lady?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See, some people thought that I have this misandrous thought of women. No. See, I've actually corrected people when they said women are nothing but children with tits. I said I'd be damned to disrespect women like that. For the simple sheer fact that when you say shit like this, you alleviate them for the responsibilities you would give men. We're gonna hold you to that strong and independent shit and see what goes after that. And I'm glad you touched on that, because what happens is you leave DNA, and not only a part of your DNA, but in the esoteric faction for all those Morris brothers out there, you leave a part of you leave a part of your soul with a woman when you sleep with her. See, I know that Vonda's the only woman in the panel, and not to be too gratuitous, but when you play with that womb, you open up the keys to Castle Grayskull and all its secrets. Okay? There's a reason why they call it a key and a lock. And people don't understand the key and the lock theory. A lock that can open up, a key that can open up any lock is valuable, and it's a master key. But a lock that lets any key opens it up is a shitty lock, and it's worthless.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of men and women don't understand that concept. Just because I can open up any lock does not mean I should. Oh Lord, you defending women. You know what I noticed, folks? Either I'm misogynist or I'm a simp. Pick a struggle. I'm just a truth-telling motherfucker. I just say the shit that people don't like to hear. Just like you all are. And I'm so glad that we have such a diverse panel today, because this is the reason that conversations like this need to be had, so we can admit we don't have to go and say we need a black man's political party. Do I think in some aspects we should? Yes. But in the long, and that's only for short term to midterm goals. Should we have it so black men could get the jobs in the recessions that they need? But guess what? Them black men owe it to their community to come back, get their women, and said, you know what? Just like in the military, pick up your weapon and follow me. I'm gonna lead you to victory.
Right.
And see, that's the point when you have a woman who says, "Woo, we even got Leo, we even got Josh in this motherfucker." Woo! Cognac gives you life and energy. See, a woman wants a man that can lead her to victory. Am I lying, Vonda?
No, you're not.
But you know, Chaos and Sonny, the problem is not too many brothers know how to be what? Victorious. Am I lying?
Not at all.
And see, when you break this shit down, I don't wish anything bad on the elder Maxine Waters, even though she was talking some bullshit. And with all due respect, she was talking bullshit. I won't cuss her out, but I will cuss around her. That was some bullshit you were talking, Maxine Waters, Miss Maxine. That's some bullshit. Because number one, we have to exercise this culture of ignorance out of our community. I've always said, if you gave me the reins for 4 years, you would see a different Baltimore. There is no fucking way that I could go walk down the street from fucking Biddle and Greenmount, Biddle and St. Paul, and you got a block away from people. How can one house be worth $100,000, but 3 blocks down, you got $400,000 and $500,000 houses? Same fucking architect. Same architectural structure.
Facts.
See, a lot of people don't know this historical shit. See, Baltimore is one of the founding fathers of redlining, if not the father of redlining. And when you fuck around, somebody drinking some good shit. And when you fuck around and you keep focusing on this division, like Vonda said, guess who's ultimately going to be the losers? Not just us, but our children and grandchildren.
Right.
There is no fucking reason my 13-year-old son, when he becomes an adult, should fight the same fucking fight I have to fight. I should be tossing that damn football for him to make touchdowns. The least I could do is make a first down. But more and more, there's people like a Maxine Waters who thinks black men should make touchdowns 4th and 20. I'm on the 2-yard line. How the hell am I supposed to throw a touchdown from there? And this is the silliness a lot of people placate. On that note, I don't even know if this show could get any better.
I want to say one last thing, bro, Charles.
Go ahead, man. I don't know if we can get any deeper than this. Like, we gonna have to do a part 2 tomorrow. God damn.
Yeah, I'm cut off after this. It is, but I just want to give a jewel degree, one more jewel degree, mainly for the women.
Go ahead.
If you find a man that is on the path or on the road to be victorious, like my brother Charles was talking about, you know, because life is like a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It's not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even hurdles. It's like a marathon with hurdles. You know what I'm saying? So on a road to becoming victorious, there's going to be some hurdles, and that man that man.
Tell her to give you 5 minutes.
Oh, that ain't me. So that man might fall. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
So that's okay.
Wow.
So
what are you doing down there, girl? Go ahead.
So what I'm trying to say is, in this marathon of life, when that man falls down, you know what I'm saying, you women have to understand that y'all have a unique power within you. And I'm not just talking with in between your legs or anything like that, but you have a power to help a man in his path. So I've seen a lot of women where when a man fall down or he might have a tough time on his road to greatness, will either lead that man or ridicule them. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Pick that man, help him get back up. Like, be that helpmate, help him get back up, encourage him, and watch what he do. You know, because it's a team effort. When we look at people like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, can you imagine the role that their wives played? Right. All these other great men that went out and did what they had to do. They had to have a great support team behind them. Them times when that man is depressed and, you know what I'm saying, he can't talk to nobody but his wife. So with us coming together as a people, you know what I'm saying, men and women, men, same thing, with whatever your significant other is trying to do. But like, let's support each other a little better. With that, I say peace.
Woo, peace. Vondo, do you have any last words?
Well, just to build off a little bit of what Sonny said, I do agree. We do need to support each other a lot more. And to be honest, the support, it shows up in a different way. The way a woman supports her man, it's going to be different the way the man supports the woman. So I think we need to, make ourselves aware of these divisive ways that they pit us against each other, because they're very, very textbook. And we just need to be careful of that. And also be able to decipher and vet out, your proper mates. We should do that on both sides. And if we don't, then, we can't be surprised with what we end up with. Because the bad and the good that exists within us is no different that exists in any other race of people. It's not, unique to the Black people. Fucked up Black people are not unique to just us. There's fucked up people all over.
Exactly.
And we need to, remember that. And also, I think it's just very important just to, to realize that, what, we can't do it without each other.
Mm-hmm.
We just cannot. Black women cannot do it all by themselves. Black men cannot do it all by themselves. It's going to take both of us together. And I think there's enough people, that are wanting to do it. And those are the ones that we need to, spend our time on, not the ones who don't want to do it.
Preach, sister, preach.
Yeah, I just want to thank you, Charles, for having me on your channel. I really appreciate it. This was a great discussion.
Always a pleasure. You can't be a stranger, girl. You can't be a stranger. You one of my day ones, girl.
Yes, I'll come back more often. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I just have to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Did it sound misogynistic?
No, it didn't. I mean, but it had its traces of Charles in it, because Charles is who he is.
Oh, you gotta love it.
You are unique in who you are.
Often imitated, never quite duplicated.
There you
the style of the profile of the shit talking to Dirty Walker. The greatest and the latest, baby. We love you, girl. We love you, girl. Tell your family the champ said hello. Woo!
Thank you.
and stay around for the chaos. You there? If he's not there, woo, I just want everybody to listen to this one song. It's an outro. It's from a brother named Knowledge. It's called My Life. And we're out of here, folks. You enjoy the tunes from the brother. I love this beat, this sample.